go. Orange farm, let's go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hashtag. Hashtag. Mamelang, hashtag yauka like join us for tea. Yabuberi, the second one is 2 together. Beke. One more time. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hashtag. Hashtag. Yeah, Mari Beke Batalife. Together, Beke. The first hashtag is join us for tea. Yabi Tuki together, Beke. First hashtag. Hashtag. Hashtag Yabi Tu. Danko. I can want to smile. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Gopalisha Peleng Mato. And you can have a seat. Thank you so much. You can sit down. Thank you. Orange Farm Dumelang. Orange Farm Sanmonan. Thank you so much for joining us to the Kasi Business Workshop. Yap Entrepreneurs Alliance. You came here. You made the decision to be here in the morning. How many entrepreneurs in the house? How many illegal ones? All right, thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You could have been elsewhere doing something else. Today, we are here in Orange Farm. T Ifikile ko Orange Farm. It's the first time Refita ko Orange Farm. First time. In 8 years. First time Refita. Orange Farm said, T, when are you coming? We said, we're coming. Orange Farm, no, we're coming. And we are here today. And we want you to have fun. We want you to make the most of today. We want you to meet new people. So one more time, Kopali Shapeling Matso ho. All right, as well to our online audience. I know we've got people tuning in from all over the country, all over the world, actually. Thank you so much. If you're tuning in online, we appreciate you. We've got our online fans, and we love you, appreciate you so much. Tell us who you are, where you're tuning in from, what your name is, what your business is, and let's share the good news. Let's give our online audience a round of applause. Baba Shapele Matso online audience. Come on, they can't feel our love. Baba Shapele Matso man. Go on to Facebook, if you have Facebook. Please go onto Facebook and then look at Township Entrepreneurs Alliance. T, here's the name. Township Entrepreneurs Alliance. More Facebook, Yalokopa. This is just what we simply ask from you because we want to share the good news. Even if people are not here, they must know what's happening. Right? So, Libitsoke Township Entrepreneurs Alliance. More Facebook. And then you'll see that now today we're live. Ne? Can you see? Can any of you see? Because if you can't see, then you can't share. If you go on the T Facebook page, you will see that we are live. We are streaming live. So, if you want more information about T, there's 2 things I want you to do. Click on the like button. Yeah, T, ne? So, when we've got more shows and more information, you'll know. That's the first one. Click on the like button. Yankela, please, for more information. Like, wanna share button. Just share what's happening now, what we're streaming now. Thank you so much. I see our shares are going up. Share button, eh? And the lovely thing about this thing is that, but while like reshare what? Next week, the following week, you go onto your Facebook page, the session is there. So you can watch it again and learn again. So please, just 2 things, like button and then the share button. Then it's on your timeline. That's all we humbly ask. Just those 2 things. Our hashtags for today, hashtag join us for tea, hashtag together, Bekelibek. Those are our 2 hashtags for today. Please use those 2 hashtags. We've got about 9 prizes or 8 prizes that we're giving away. Apparently we're even giving away money. Smile on that. We're giving away money, hashtag join us for tea, hashtag together, Beke Libeke. All right. So next up, I'm going to bring up the visionary, a guy who started this movement, his vision, his idea, just to come and share with you what he's about, what we do, what we love, what our vision is, and what we're doing. Di kipa tse, go pa bona ka matso. Ke mang wa ratang skipa se? La srata. O la lo rata ntho maro sa ereki. And a ke batle ona ntho. So di kipa tse, and ke tight fit. Ke bone bo my sister ba mang shebile ba yo abuti. It's a tight fit. At the back, it's got the places that T has gone to: Tembisa, Davidton, Katlehong, Oliven, Umlazi, all the other places there at the back. It's a very nice shirt. So it's only for today, 150. Only for today. Become part of the family. You can also order it online. Our team is outside as well. Only for 150. Indusi sentene sister. Yeah, all right. So, lastly, what we do at T, we're going to have 6 people who are pitching for the grand prize of 50. Whoever comes up on stage, we show them love, man. We show them love. We give them energy. By the time Bafita more staging, Bafilo, they've got the confidence. All right. So the next guy that I'm bringing up, he's the visionary, he's the founder, to tell you what T is, what do we do, what are we about, and how you can become involved in this movement. Please, let's put our hands together for my guy. Mr. Get Things Done. Let's put our hands together for Ulelani, Bala. Tam Chapele Matsoman.
Sanbonani, Orange Farm. So I'm so happy to be here. The Orange Farm. For many, many years, we've gotten people asking us to come to Orange Farm, but finally, through our partners at Nedbank, we are here. So let's give Nedbank a round of applause, man. I think just first and foremost, thank you to our amazing partners, but also the exhibitors who've showed up this morning, who've got amazing products. Every exhibitor, has got a pocket pause, a payment device with them. You see something you like, you buy. You see something you like, but you don't have money right now, take their details, take a picture, put it on your Facebook, and tag them. That's one of the things of creating an inclusive economy where we support our own people. Because you might not have the money, but you've got the second most powerful thing, which in actual fact is the most powerful thing, where you give them mileage on your social media platform, because we ordinarily post about other brands and other things, and we don't get the accolades, or sometimes it's not even people we know, some of them are from overseas. But now with someone you see, lifetime, that's the only thing you can do. And then over and above that, just engage throughout the day. We've got amazing speakers that will be coming up and down and engaging. But the person next to you, engage with the person next to you, because your network is super powerful. Because those are the people that you collaborate with to move your business to the next level. You'll collaborate with to grow your business. You'll collaborate with when you take some ice, when you take some blomu, doesn't have a place to maybe phone stall, when you take some sweetie they can share. That's how we sort of build an inclusive market. Because if we don't collaborate, then we miss out on a lot of opportunities. But part of collaboration as well, so you need to be able to say, if you're going to say to someone you want to collaborate with them, you must find a way of identifying how does this benefit them and how does it benefit you. Before umuntu akutshela, because most of the time thola uhlangana nomuntu uthi no lento oyenzayo ngiyayithanda ngithanda ukuthi nale van le ngayisebenzise yakho angazi ukuthi singasebenza kanjani wena ucabanga ukuthi sisebenze kanjani ungayenzi kanjalo. So think smarter, think on your feet before you even approach anyone with a proposal or an idea. Just say no ntwana namateka grand mina ngishaya ikipa ezigran mina ngizogaya ikipa wena ungaya amateki wena uzongi-advertise uzongifaka shop yakho ngifake shop yami uzongifaka ku Facebook yami ngifake ku Facebook yakho siyathengiselana. Then it's a value add. Now uyakwazi ukuthola adopa nami ngiyakwazi ukudopa, and that's how you build value. And then you become very honest in that relationship that you have with that new person that you're dealing with. You might not have to be the greatest of friends, but you need to be honest to maintain a strong bond. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This is our last tea for Jan. We continue next year, but please engage. go onto the YouTube, share the page so that other people can see it, so that they can see what is happening here. All the amazing Orange Farm entrepreneurs who are going to come, who are selected to come up and pitch. Let other people see that Orange Farm is alive with possibilities, is alive with potential, and every Kasi has what it takes and has everything you need to provide sustenance. So thank you so much. Hashtag join us for tea. Together, Beke the Beke.
Mantla re mshapeleng matsoho man. Hashtag? Hashtag? Okay, okay. We are together, we are together, we are together. All right, let's move on. So we're gonna get to our pitching now. All we said is that when we started this thing, and Bulelani didn't mention this, it got 8 years, and we were interms at the time when we began. And the person who came here, Carol Libito. O le tshwere to rona le nna re tla o jwetsa ke mang o fitileng pele letsisi yeah okay my brother la mshapeleng matsoho. You're the first guy here. Wow, so congratulations my guy, thank you so much. Mshapeleng matsoho, great. All right. So, little the notebook, ne? The next thing that we're moving on, we're going to our pitching challenge. We're going to our pitching challenge. We're going to move on to our pitching challenge, ne? But before how many of you by show of hands and you wanted to buy something, but I want to cash? Into you but like I want to cash, ne? And the motu o rekisetsang a tshwara le speed point. Kopa bona ka matso. O ile wa feel jwang? Disappointed, ne? So, Nedbank bankers are outside. Nedbank is outside. Go and inquire from them on how you can get yourself one of these. You need to have one of these. O dutse fela go taxi motho a batla go reka tap again. Nedbank pocket pause. Nedbank pocket pause. Let's give Nedbank a round of applause. This is what they're doing for entrepreneurs. This is what they're doing for entrepreneurs. It's a Nedbank pocket pause. So please make sure that you get yourself one. If you want more information, Nedbank bankers are outside. All right. Let's go. We're in class now. We're going into class now. This part we call the pitching challenge. Online audience, so much love for you. Get involved as well. Hashtag join us for tea. Hashtag together Bekele Beke. We're doing the pitching challenge right now. Tell us about your business. What do you do? What questions do you have in terms of access to funding, and then we can take those questions and give them to whoever's gonna come up on stage. All right. Can we get the slides up, please? So how many of you, by show of hands, have been in a position, tell me about your business. And then what that does no. The way one situation no mutuzo mufali context marati bo rekisang. So my number is no, we operate in so what we are here to do this is to help you. Is to share with you questions that will help you in your pitching. So if I say to you, Mama, business, get straight to the point. But sometimes I would say, so can we get the slides up, please? All right, 4 critical questions. Please write these questions down when you are pitching. And many of you sent your videos, it was great, but after 1 minute, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Question number 1, what problem are you solving? Or what service are you providing? Get straight to the point. That's the first question. Answer that question, get straight to it. Question number 2, what's your unique selling point? So about a unique selling point, what's special about what you're doing? Like, okay, sharp, but what's special about yours? What's special about your cakes? Why must we buy from you? Because you're not the only one doing what you're doing. Okay, so mention that. Question number 3, what's your story? Why did you start the business? That's the third question. Kenako Tabeng, answer these 3 questions. The last one, what do you need? You've pitched your business, you've told me what you need, or rather you've told me your unique selling point, you've told me what problem you're solving, you've told me what your story is. What do you need? Do you need money? How much money do you need? Get straight to the point, clarity. Clarity, 4 questions. What problem are you solving? What service are you providing? Question number 2, what's your unique selling point? Question number 3, what's your story? Question number 4, what do you need? You're in business to make money. So how do you make money? What problem are you solving? What service are you providing? What's your unique selling point? Why you? What's your story? What do you need? How do you make money? 5 critical questions, that's it. Get straight to the point. Is that helpful? Yeah, Tus? So next time you know, okay, when they say 3 days before. So we've got our top 6 pitching finalists for Orange Farm. We're gonna call you up, utotla staging sahau, and then we're gonna give you 2 minutes to pitch. Oh, let's go, and in 3, 2, 1, action.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Xolan Nopote, the founder and the CEO of Fusion Shopper Pty Ltd, trading as X-Shine, which is a township-based company started back in 2017 and formulated everything in 2018. We are currently supplying and manufacturing auto care product. Our current clients are your car washes, which we do supply them and also train them, huge detailed testing. And we're also in the process of getting a vet vendor number where we'll upscale and grow our business. So currently now, what we'll need the first scale, and another portion will be used to design a website where we will be in e-commerce, where we will link it up with your macro. It will take a lot because we do have a potential demand on that side. And the other one is to purchase machinery. It is not about us, guys. It's about your car. We have anti-freezer, wash and wax, dashboard cream, and EcoWax product, where you just spray and wipe. You don't need to use water, since we are in a country that's got water scarce. I thank you for this opportunity. Please help us.
One more time, let's put our hands together for Kolani from Fusion Shopper Pty Ltd. Next up, we have Vuisile Yende, Utingo Elihle Trading. Vuisile? Yes. Yes, let's put our hands together for Sis Vuisile. Orange Farm. Come on! Our next pictures, because we're doing our online and all nothing.
Can't you hold for me?
All right, and in 3, 2, 1, action!
Good day, good morning, everyone. My name is Vuisile Yende. I'm 33 years of age. I am director of Utingo Elihle Trading. I do livestock. I'm a breeder, I'm a seller, I'm a dealer also. I stock my livestock and then come back and sell to the community at large. I sell for weddings, for funerals, for ancestral ceremonies. And then if I win this pitch today, it will help me for a course that I want to enroll in for my communication skills, for my marketing skills, and also to help me on the business to help me work well with my employees. I've employed 3 guys who helped me, and I have one seasonal worker in my plot where I have rented the place because I can't keep my livestock in this area in Orange Farm because it's a township area where people live in. So I sell and I also breed. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Nedbank NT.
That was good. You were great. Sister. That was good. Yeah. No, Akirati Maiki. Wow. Fantastic. All right. Let's move right along. Our third picture, Lerato, Sello, more than yesterday. Lerato? Bashapilin Lerato, Matsoho. Thank you so much. Pause. That, Kolofai Gada. Yeah, Kolofai Gada. All right, Takam Shapilang Matso. Erata Nyugu. Yaw Erata Nyugu. I love this. Any opportunity to learn, he makes the most out of it. And he was there as well. Takam Shapilang Matso happy. Good to see you, my man. All right, let's go. And in 3, 2.
That when we take photograph or videographies, is the moment wherever we can capture that moment forever, and you can't get any moment again. So, we are a business called Modern Yesterday. Modern Yesterday is a company that we do photo shoots on a studio shoot and at my family living room. So we started in 2019, and then we created a living room to a studio. And Modern Yesterday is a name that motivates us all the time, so we can do better every day. We capture memories because most people, they have to drive all the way from Midrand or wherever to do this kind of photo shoots. We do birthday shoots, celebration photo shoots, and even modeling photo shoots. But people here in Orange Farm, they can't really get that, or they have to drive all the way there. But it's really costly, it's far, but we're really bringing the professional level photography and videography here in Orange Farm. And then in adding on that, we create exclusive decors for that. So you can tell us what kind of a decor do you want? What kind of a style do you want? Do you want safari? Do you want candies? We can create that from scratch. And currently, we can't take a lot of clients due to a space limitation. And when I win this competition, it'll be a bigger opportunity for us to grow the space, to get more equipment for the company. And most of all, currently we have employed like 3 people and then have 6 models that we've created their platform, their Instagram page. Thank you so much.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Takam Shapilang Matsoho. Lerato Sello, more than yesterday. I saw their video, they've got an amazing studio. So, you're going far, my man. You're going very far. Next up, 3 more to go. Sipho Nkosi from Siga Biltong. Sipho. Takam Shapilang Matsoho. Kisipo wako Siga Biltong. I bought his biltong a couple of weeks ago. Very, very nice. Very nice. My man.
Thank you.
Right, let's go. And in 3, 2, 1. Action.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sipho Nkosi. I'm a co-founder and the owner of Siga Biltong Pty Ltd. Basically, we are in a business of agri-processing. We buy any products from farming, like we buy meat, raw meat, and then we process it into a final product. As you can see, it's now a final product. It's a biltong. We have different flavors, and then we do pork biltong, bacon biltong, we do chicken as well. And then we also do dry fruits. We process like fresh fruits to dry fruits. So basically, we currently have 3 employees that are currently working with us. And then we saw that there's a high rate of unemployment in not only in Orange Farm. So I wanted to create a platform whereby we are solving it. Obviously, it's unemployed. And then we need a machine. We need big machine because we have lots of product that we're processing. We need a machine to process dry fruits. We need also a machine to process meat, pork, and chicken and so on. So the machine is cost about 33,000 rand. I did a research. It costs 33,000, and then we also need sealers so that we can able to use the sealers to seal our product. So thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Body's built on a couple of, 2-3 weeks ago, innit? Yeah, very, very, very nice. All right, one more time, a round of applause for Sipho Nkosi from Siga Biltong. I see you also with the family, ne? That's great. It's lovely. All right, 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Abongile, Mondi Q, are you here? Abongile here? All right, my brother. Thank you so much, brother. Ile video le yakho bophethe spade ne? Yeah, ngiyakhumbula. Ngiyakhumbula. Qala spade insakala. Nithe bani? Lo muntu uyayifuna imali. Asimshayeleni izandla, La kumshapele kumatsoho.
Mic check.
You right? Invoice yakho.
Yeah, it's sharp. My name is Abongile Mbangula. I'm a final year dropout at UJ studying human resources management due to financial crisis, which is NSFAS. When I was looking for funding, I came across to a program named Entrepreneurship at Africa Tycoon, where I took my previous learning experiences into action. The market for food production is very high because people eat every day and there's no doctor for hunger. My target market is every hungry stomach that makes lousy sound, craving for food like a hungry lion, and also to mention NGOs, Shisanyama, daycares, tuck shops, just to name a few. We plant and process corn into chemical-free maize meal. What makes our brand being different is that we have white maize for market penetration. We have yellow and brown maize just to add value in the market. We have our gold product, which is rainbow for branding.
All right. Kiyabongile takumshapele kumatsoho one more time. Let's give him a round of applause. Our last one, Moko, Project 1. Some love. Right, so final one, in 3, 2, 1.
Teen pregnancy, joining of gangs, drugs, alcohol abuse, mental health issues, and financial difficulties at home. We've proven that our holistic approach of personal mastery teen camps is effective in offering solutions of emotional from people who are passionate about youth development. We have life coaches, educators, social workers, psychologists, and facilitators. How we make money is charging a fee to the camps, for the camps, and we have great relationships with schools, so we get invited to.
So shy. Thank you for the mic. That was our final picture from Project 180 Personal Development. We're speaking about access to funding online from day one, my man. Day one. It's good to see you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mulemi. Good and a great honor, because I was asked to speak at the very first event, the first event that speak the event. It's a great opportunity for you to learn and to get some nuggets which you can go and implement, which you can go and improve in you running your business in the future. I've got about 15 minutes, but I'm going to ask, I've got a few notes that I'm going to share with you. So the theme for today is access to funding. And as a financial institution and as also an employee of a bank, I have had a lot of questions wherever I've been. The seminars that we've been running, there's this one question that we get as to how do I get funding in the bank? So today I'm going to share with you a whole host of options that as Nedbank we have available for your organization, from an NGO to a profit-making organization. And then so that yourselves, you would have said, but I didn't know that Nedbank is offering this. I didn't know that. I'm going to sort of share more at a high level. I'll also share some of the email addresses that maybe you can use, maybe to send your proposal and so forth. Are we ready? Awesome. All right, if we can go to the next. Okay, thank you. Let me do this. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so at Nedbank, our main purpose, our purpose statement is to use our financial expertise to do good, right? And we do this through interventions like this, where we empower businesses, we empower potential clients, we empower our clients, and so that we can be able to see that your business grows, you grow as an individual, and our brand promise to you is that we see money. We see money differently, and we want you to see money differently because we want to become part of your financial decision-making process. So, and this really is part that really inspires me a lot, that I'm very passionate about, that as Nedbank, we don't want you to see us as a bank that just opens accounts or opens credit cards or opens loans. We want you to see us as a bank that wants to build a relationship with you. Because you can open an account, you can have a loan, and then the account maybe gets dormant or gets closed, or the loan that you have. What is really key is that we build a relationship with you so that you can also understand. We want you to be the kind of client to us where you can call us and say, look, I want to buy an equipment. Do you think it's a good idea? Wouldn't you be happy to bank with an organization like that than just maybe just thinking of a transactional way of doing business? So I keep going back. I think I need to go for a course on this one. There we go. So I'll be covering basically about three lending options that we have. I'll start with the traditional lending options we have in the bank, and then I'll move to then a variety of other support options that we have, and then other alternative forms of funding, because we are aware that there are many different businesses out there. Some of them may not be able to, participate in the traditional lending offerings that we have. So we've got other alternative lending options there that I'll share with you. Okay, we go to the next one. There we go. All right. Share with us what you do, exactly what is your goal, your short-term, your medium-term, and your long-term goal in your business, so that we can be able to understand you deeper there. And then we would like you also to, run your business conveniently, saving time as well. And we've really moved a lot into digital, where you can be able to run your business digitally, where you can be able to bank digitally, where banking digitally is also cost effective. So I would like you to please make time to make sure that you really understand. The same way you go to a supermarket, you don't go to a supermarket and you just pick up any spice. You check which. So the same way in terms of how you choose to bank, with whom you choose to bank, and is this working for you? What is the best way to bank, which would be more cost effective for you? right? I think I got a hold of things now. All right, now let's start with the traditional banking finance. So with regard to our banking offerings, especially with regard to loans at the bank, it is very important for you to understand that it would be responsible for us as a bank to say, yes, we can help every small business with funding and finance. Where it is quite important is to understand we look at each and every business according to its own merit. And we're not saying you should be running for 5 years or 10 years, but we're saying if you can be able to provide us some information with regard to how your business has been performing, it can be as good as 6 months worth of management accounts where we can be able to see how your business has been performing. That will really help us a lot to be able to devise small like this that you can use to be able to receive payments from your clients or your customers, right? Now, the more you continuously use the merchants in your business where people come and buy from you, the gap access facility, it is not a loan, it's an advance, right? So what we do as a bank, we check the number of transactions that have been going through your speed point machine, and then we advance you lending based on that. Are we together? It's an awesome, awesome facility. And also, it is not prime variant, right? It's not linked to prime. We charge you a fee, which is actually even much of a bargain as well for yourself. You can be able, and how you pay is we automatically deduct from the transactions daily, and then that's how you basically pay. You don't have to get into an installment where you pay. So it's a very convenient way. If maybe you are closed on Sunday or on a Saturday, then our systems are able to monitor that, and then they are not able to deduct. So it's an awesome, awesome solution, the gap access. So if you want more information about it, please make your way to the stands where our colleagues will then be able to give you more information. And then the other one is the medium-term offerings that we have, and these are the medium-term lending term offerings, and this is really to fund operational assets in your business, such as equipment, and maybe you want to buy a vehicle for your business and so forth. And we've got obviously the car finance offerings, as you know, and then we also can assist your business with regard to asset finance. Maybe you want to buy equipment and so forth. Sometimes you may be wanting to buy a business from someone, maybe a going concern, and this business already has fridge, it already has a bakkie or a scooter, it already is a building, it's a commercial property, and you need to buy the whole business, then a term loan really comes in handy for that. It goes for a period of about 60 months to pay, and then in that case, then we can be able to structure it nicely and be able to assist you there. So that's a great offering. And then we also have a solar energy finance offering, and I think it really goes without saying with regard to the struggle we are currently having of power, and you can imagine in your business how that could be. And so what we then do, we can be able to offer the solar energy finance, and we can offer it in two ways. We have a finance house at Nedbank called MFC, and there you can be able to buy the installation. We can be able to finance the installation of your solar panels for your business or even for your residential property in that way. Or if you already have a property, we can be able to incorporate the cost of the installation of the solar panels into your bond, right? And this actually, it lessens the installment for the duration of your loan, and then it makes it easier for you then to be able to pay it. The other option is maybe you've got already an existing bond, you can apply for a further loan, and then we can be able to finance your solar panels there, and then you pay for the duration of the term. Maybe you're not banking with us, and you are banking elsewhere, and we would like to encourage you that this is an opportunity for you to switch over, because in that way we can be able to look into assisting, and then we can then help you with make sure that we can incorporate the solar finance option as well. And if you want to know more information about this, feel free to keep in touch with us. There's going to be engagements throughout the day. I'm happy to give you more information about this. Are we still together? Okay, awesome, awesome. I love the energy. This is the last session of the year, so I'd rather hear the energy. All right, so the last one is really long-term finance options, and this really talks to funding of non-operational assets, such as commercial property or even residential property. And with regard to commercial property, there's a solution called net bond that we provide at Nedbank. And really the condition here, maybe you want 2% of that property, we can then be able to look into assisting you with regard to that. We can be able to, maybe, especially some of the people, maybe you are based Kokasi, and then you'd like to convert your residential property into a commercial property. There's a proper guidance in terms of the rezoning process that we can be able to help you with and guide you on there. So please just keep in touch with us with regard to those. So this is now the traditional banking finance options that I've just shared with you. So then the question is, so what are the requirements and what sort of documentation will I need? So I'd like to encourage you to go to our Nedbank website. And on the Nedbank website, maybe you've got a pen, but we're happy to, I'll just share with you. Go to the Nedbank website and then click on the business tab. And then there's another tab there called Other, and then there's another tab called Beyond Banking. Then you'll find an awesome from how you can build a healthy relationship with your bank, and what sort of documentation you should keep in your business, what sort of requirements should you want to apply for finance. And then towards the end of the page, I actually even know the page is page 39. It covers the financial ratios in the most simplest form for you to understand. And I think it really will help you to see when you come to the bank and submit your banking loan applications, thank yourself to go through that. The team were quite very generous to make sure they get guidance for you from that perspective. All right, so there's also some solutions that you can also already apply for online. And again, you just go to the Nedbank website, you will see there, you'll be able to apply for an overdraft all by yourself in the comfort of your own home. So you can be able to do that. You can be able to now apply for loan that I spoke about. You can be able to apply for that as well. So something about the term loan, obviously that will require some form of collateral in the form of maybe sitting your property or suretyship, or maybe an insurance that has got some surrender value, but can still be able to you're going to be able to apply for online in the future, credit cards, gap access. You will do that. It's coming soon, and also property finance. Just watch the space. Keep checking our website so that you can be able to apply on the Money app for these kinds of solutions. All right. Now the most interesting part is this one. So we are in an era where really to save time and to see that whatever that you do, it brings convenience to you. It is really to embrace digital. Nedbank has been really at the forefront to ensuring that we encourage our clients that when you do your banking, you do it digitally, and therefore when you run your business, see that you can be able to leverage a lot from doing so digitally. It saves money. You're going to be finding that you are saving a lot from there. Doing things manually, it's quite sad when we look at our clients' financial statements. There's a part in the expenses space here, and then we'll see there's an item called bank charges. You'll find that as a business, you've paid something like maybe 9,000 worth of bank charges. It doesn't have to be that way. If you bank digitally, to leverage a lot from banking digitally, you are going to save quite a bit there. So one of them is really to understanding and using our money apps. We've got our Nedbank Money app where you can do all this banking digitally. And also with regard to your business as well. This money app, what it does is you can do your banking in your capacity as an individual, and then you can switch, and then very easy, very conveniently, maybe you want to make sure now you transact with regard to your business. So it's got the business profile and the personal profile, and then you can do the context switching that they're talking about there. And also, maybe you have got directors in your business. You are one of the directors in your business, and then all of you you want to have pins to be able to transact on this bank account. Now you'll be able to see who transacted on the account. Then there's no longer a thing of sharing one pin to all the directors. Everybody will be able to have an individual NetBank ID so that you can know who transacted on the account. And I think really it helps a lot in terms of working together with your fellow directors in your business. All right, and then there are also other digital payment methods there. I think by now you may have seen there's this barcode that is square in shape. It's called the QR code. In your business, maybe you are selling muffins or whatever you are selling, you go into buildings to want to sell whatever that you are selling, and you don't, maybe another alternative way is you could have a QR code where people can take a snapshot of the QR code and pay conveniently that way. So that's another option that we have. And then also, we have also introduced the NetBank bill payments where you actually get rewarded for paying your bills. It's an awesome solution. You will be able to get it. It's on it's one of the options on the NetBank Money app. We've got an array of also other options. The pocket post that I spoke about, you can now be able to get your clients to tap their cards on it as well, so that then there's ease of payment. The one that really blew me away, ladies and gentlemen, was the money message. Do you know now that your customers can pay you via WhatsApp? We've got that offering. It's called Money Message. You want to know more about it, please make your way to the stalls that we have outside so that you can understand more about it. Those that have got your, access to the Apple devices, you can be able to make your payments also in that way. So we've really gone a long way in making sure that we embrace a digital way of doing business so that it's more convenient for you. Are we still together? Yes. Awesome. All right. Then the next one, it's now I would like to come on to the other support options that NetBank as a whole has really been committed to offering and to really helping many different sectors of the economy, many different industries in the economy as well. And the first one is really our incubation program in the form of the NetBank Enterprise Program. And really the NetBank Enterprise Development Program is where we enroll entrepreneurs into a program for a duration, sometimes all the way to 3 years, where they, together with maybe giving them some financial support, we also give them non-financial support, and I'll say about it more at length. And if you want to know more about the Enterprise Development Program, I've put an email there for you. It's ed@netbank.co.za. ed@netbank.co.za, and there's a slide that I'll sort of get more into it shortly. And then the other one is our CSI, or Corporate Social Investment Vehicle, and at NetBank we call it the NetBank Foundation, and this is really where we are helping different sectors of the economy to be able to address certain very important parts of the economy. And I think I've got limited time now, but I'm going to share more with you about that. It's called the NetBank Foundation. So the email address there is netbankfoundation@netbank.co.za. And then one of the other platforms that I'm really passionate about is called the Simply Biz. I call it the Twitter for small businesses. That's where you can be able to advertise your business. You can get, there's a tab there called the Academy tab, where you can learn more about different tools to understand about business. You can network with other business people. You can get mentorship there. So please visit simplybiz.co.za. You'll get more information on that. Now, I've given you some info on NetBank Enterprise Development, where they can provide mentorship for you, skills development, trading when you enjoy enroll the program. And also it varies really depending on which industry or sector you are at. All right, and also I've covered the Nedbank Foundation. The focus at the moment is really on those organizations that are really focusing on the green economy, such as your agriculture, waste, water, and energy. So if your organization is any of these and has any of these kind of key focus areas, please, and you'd like to see how Nedbank can support you in terms of that, you can then send them an email on nedbank@nedbank.co.za. I've spoken about the Simply Biz. I think I was excited ahead of time, and this is where you can also get alternative funding options. Private equity, seed fund investors are there, venture capitalists, where we are not maybe able to assist you with the traditional banking offerings from a lending perspective that we have. Right, and then alternatively, you can reach out to family and friends. Make sure that you don't destroy relationships in doing that, in getting funding. And then there's crowdfunding options that are available. And we also have some private investors that can invest in your business there, that are available. And then obviously the government also is doing a lot to making sure that they help. So it's about you going out to reach out to see what help you've got available. And then my work is done. So thank you so much, and hope that you enjoy the rest of the workshop.
Thank you so much. That was, so one more time. Come on, guys, let's show Nedbank some love. Let's show Nedbank some love. Gifts. Mercy Love was showing us love before the event, pre-event, already telling people that it's happening in Orange Farm. If Ali Shape Matso, I never told you gift. Shapalanka Love Matso, man. There's a gift for you. Thanks so much, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for showing us love. Really appreciate it. Flowers, ne? Yeah, really appreciate it. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Crazy concept. One more time, guys. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Morning, guys. And thank you for having me again. Appreciate it. And by the way, I'm actually with my brother. And when you saw Ritapole now wearing green and beige pants, it's really wheelie. No. Arabua, guys. And I get bicycle on Nedbank, when I'm wearing a green shirt. So just a disclaimer. And you don't mind. Anyway, so good morning, guys. So I'm Tiko Mutlabi. I'm from a company called Roomster Backyard Rental. So Roomster Backyard Rental is a digital platform that we founded in 2018. And its primary function is to connect tenants and landlord in the backroom space all over the country, all 9 provinces. So, for example, if you're a landlord and you have back rooms in your house, you can just log onto our platform, you register onto our platform, and then you're able to list your rooms. And by then you increase the number of potential tenants that can definitely see your room all over the country. And vice versa, if you're a potential tenant, you log onto our system, onto our platform, you're able to search for any room all over the country, and you can find a room there. And while you're on there, you can be able to see in a 10-kilometer radius all the amenities that can help you to make an informed decision about which room you're choosing. So if like shopping malls, the nearest taxi rank, the nearest bus station, the nearest train station, all of that stuff, so that you are able to make an informed decision. And on top of that, if you're a service provider around the backrooms, or rather around the property room space, if you're a painter, for example, if you're a furniture remover, for example, you are able to log onto our platform, register your services, and then people around can see you, and therefore then can connect with you. If you're a laundry service, all that stuff, you can be able to go into our platform and you're able to, to find you, and then, they can be able to transact with you. So that's basically what Roomster is in a nutshell. It's a platform where you can connect, and we help tenants and landlords. But that's actually the primary use of Roomster. You know, but the overall vision for Roomster is to really create this backroom market to get to its potential. You know, the potential, I'm actually looking for a word, but the potential that it deserves, you know, because our rooms and the backroom market don't really get, you know, the necessary attention and the flowers that it really deserves. So, you know, we're trying to grow this market through our platform by becoming the data collectors. So we collect a lot of data from our platform, and then we can share it with all the, we can share the data with all the stakeholders that are involved, from off to builders. You know, so that's the primary, the main focus of Roomster as well, to grow this market to what it's supposed to be. You know, in our office with our team, we normally joke about backrooms, and we say, you know, it's actually not a backroom. Like, we're not trading in a backroom market. We're trading in a rental units asset market, because it's actually an asset, and that's what we need to look at it as. We've never looked at backrooms in the back, you know, before as assets, and that's what we need to look at it. We need to look at this thing as an asset. And one of the reasons why we never look at the backroom market is because most of it is not compliant, and because we just grow up, backroom, so and so lives in it, but we never look at the rental unit potential and the asset that we have, that we can trade with, that we can become. You know, I meet so many people, because I'm in the property industry as well, and I meet so many people who say, you know, look, I want to get into property, I want to be a mogul, you know. But we start there, that's where we start. We have these assets. The barrier to entry is much more lower compared to if you want to buy a mall or whatever. So, you know, it's compliance. Compliance is the biggest problem that hinders this market to not get to where it's supposed to go. And so we need to really get compliant. We need to encourage people to, when they build, they become compliant. They submit their plans, they use the right builders, and so forth. And the main reason actually for us to push people to be compliant as Roomster is because if you think about it, we are housing our people in these rooms. So, you know, the potential, the immediate potential is death, is danger, it's people's lives being in danger. But secondly as well, if our rooms are not compliant, there's a problem that if you ever try to transact in this room, in this asset at some point in your life, and you're trying to dispose it for whatever reason, either business is not compliant, you don't have the plans, you don't have anything, so you have to sell it at a discount price, which is the biggest problem, right? So you have to get these rooms compliant because they're serving our people. And lastly, I mean, if the tragedy that you guys have seen at KZN in a couple of months, another one which has happened in Protea and other areas where you have floods into people's housing and destroying houses and so forth. If you're not insure your house, right, you cannot be insured. And if you get flood and natural disasters that destroy the house, it's over, right? So then the market, as we say, this 20 billion rand market then keeps on going down. And every time I do a talk about what we do and rooms and so forth, I always warn people that, guys, as much as the spaza market is going to go, this market is also going to go. If we don't, it's ours, and it's an asset. We need to really look at it into an asset. And once your mind shift, once your mind is shifted into you looking at it as an asset, then creativity pops up, opportunities pops up. You start thinking about it quite differently. But lastly, which is also quite important, that we need to look into, is that, as I said, it's a value chain throughout this whole entire property market, right? There's a whole entire value chain. And this whole entire value chain is what we actually need if we really take care of it. It's covered since 20. That's where it causes fights and so forth. I mean, if you go to the rental tribunal unit, the queues are long every day. Landlords and tenants are fighting, right? But if we train estate agents in the backroom space, in the township space, so that they know more about lease agreements, they know more about tenants' rights, landlord rights, and so forth, they're able to go and assist, and then we can grow the market and people can get jobs, right? And maintenance as well, project management is going to also grow. I was actually impressed the other day when I think one of my first times that I attended the tea session, there was these young gentlemen who were like 17, 18, who actually started a security company and a management company that actually in townships that look, sales as well. There's going to be a lot of sales. It's going to be many township can really, really eat the fruits and and enjoy the fruit of our labor. And so so that's Roomster in a nutshell and where we're trying to go. And then so please use Roomster, those who do have back rooms. And thank you for listening.
Duncan. One more time, thank you so much, my brother. Shout out. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing. Muska. Cool. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for believing in us and believing in the vision. You want to come back on stage and take that one? A big shout out to our headline sponsor, Nedbank, one more time. Thank you so much for believing in the vision. Believing in us and in what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. #together. All right, as well, a big shout out as well to NESPAS, our exhibition partner. NYDA. Big shout as well, Department of Small Business. Thank you, appreciate you so much. Hey, you got nothing but love. Namta from NESPAS, she's going to come through and talk about the amazing work that they're doing as well. NESPAS Lab. Please can we give a round of applause? Come on, Orange Farm, let's show some love. Let's show some love. Orange Farm. We're too shy, but we're big again on the stage.
Is one of our focal communities, skills development and entrepreneurial development, social investments for labs. We like for NASPAs. I'm so nervous. We have been going around the country in Orange Farm. We do work with one of our skills development partners, Africa Cocoon, where we do cybersecurity training and IT skills development. We were here when there was the Empower Youth workshop earlier this year. I think it was here as well, right? Yes, so we were here and my boss was like, we're giving away money. Have gone to their houses, we have gone to check out their businesses. Some of them, we've even given them pretty big checks. So we love Orange Farm. Orange Farm is, we see so much of the sponsorship that happens from businesses, and Orange Farm deserves to be serviced. We like going to rural communities. We like going to those townships that are untouched so that we can service those youth who are not helped, who don't have the access to services as well, in terms of skills training, in terms of work placement, and in terms of entrepreneurial development. But we have been thoroughly impressed by the youth here. In the last event we held, when we were announcing the entrepreneurs, and it was at Africa Cocoon here, there was a lot of youth there. Combra Swaga, is that you guys? And we saw you as well, and the caterers we used were the youth here. Basenzeli Kota, and then there was like a huge bride meet thing. We went to your houses. Some of the winners we have are people who are doing mobile AI devices for their phones, digital marketing, magazines about the community and the issues of the community. So we know the youth here are driven, are hungry, just amazing. And we're very invested with them, and we're very proud to be working with Tikasi and Bulelani as well, because he also is a person who comes from a township who has struggled like you and understands how to make it. And we hope we have, and we know we've left out. We can't wait to see who wins. And thank you for giving us this moment to just, we can't wait to see who wins. And thank you for giving us this moment to just be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, Nams, we don't have a, please come. We don't have a picture of you. Duncan. Duncan. Who's Duncan? Duncan. Can we get Duncan?
Photographer naye. Tata ma-selfie ngapha le-camera kumele so.
Duncan uphi kanti?
Hawu man.
Loku nka di-selfie ko morago. Ano photographer. No, there he is. He's there. Yeah. Ufeditse? Ushap? Hawu kuyabona batsamaya kanti all right. Shama.
Announce this because it's a long one. This one. Now if you take organic Shama organics here. Shama, SHAMAHOR organics. I'm here. But now you're not getting a prize. So Shama was showing us so much love. In a presence, who wants the prize? All right, Shama's not here. So quickly we come. Okay. And then NELLE, yeah. NELLE Mavi. Yeah. Come through. Please let's give them a round of applause. They've been showing us so much love. This is pre-event. Posting about tea. Please come this one. Posting about tea, telling people what tea is and what's happening. One more time, a round of applause. And we've got more prizes to give away. So we'll look out on social media, hashtag join us for tea, hashtag together bake and bake. I've spoken to the team. We have a winner already for the 50,000. And it was close. Position 1, no position 2, 2 points. Just 2. Thank you so much for showing us so much love. This is for you. Thank you. 14-year startup is for you, my brother. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. We still have a lot of prizes to give away. A lot. And a lot of money to give away as well. Right, Tapen? Okay, so, by show of hands, how many of you came with someone? Not motu, but like Utlilele. Guys, come on, don't go business eventing. All right, so as Bulelani was saying earlier on, this part of our section is called networking. We're going to head into our networking session now. And I'm encouraging you to meet at least 5 new people. So this part, and I think this is the real part that we love at Tea, where we don't want you to leave without having met people, at least 5. Babanji, tell them what you do. This amazing man sells, amazing dude, amazing. Okay, but amazing. Love your products. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna network. Please don't leave.
we Please do not leave. Skatsama Netbank store, amazing, amazing, amazing prizes outside. Tapelo store here. Our exhibitors are still at least 5 new people, and they get to check. At least 5 new. Please, let's network, let's network, let's network, let's network, so we can get ready for our second half of the show. Netbank bankers are still outside. They're not going anywhere. Go and see what they have for you. Please, let's continue to spread the love. Let's continue to spread the love. Hashtag join us for tea. Hashtag together Bekelibek on social media. Let's continue sharing that love. Let's continue sharing the love. At least 5 new people. Tag them, share the love. Still amazing products outside, amazing giveaways. Please, let's see our exhibitors. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Kuparoduleng Mofats, please can we take our seats? Thank you so much, Kuparoduleng Mofats. Please can we sit down so we can wrap up? We've got our speakers. The amazing Queen Puseletso is in the building. He's in the building. Thank you so much, Kuparoduleng Mofats, so we can continue with the program. Once again, hashtag join us for tea, hashtag together, Bekele Beke. We still got our t-shirts, only 150. Extra small, small, medium. The thing. The amazing, this is gonna get us, is gonna buy one for, hey, I'll like you wanna so small. Thank you so much, Kuparoduleng Mofats. Kuparoduleng Mofats, please can we take our seat so we just continue with our program. Shout out to All Day Jam. Shout out to All Day Jam. Thank you so much. Kupabona Kamatso, how many of you met at least 5 new people? When I was in a mission in Siras, I tell 5, more than 5. Let me see once again, I've got something to give away. More than 5? Okay, I think something. Please, Kuparoduleng Mofats, please can we take our seat so we can continue with the program. More than 5, ne? More than 5. Bye, Kai. 4. 4 more than 5. Once again, a big shout out to our online audience. Keep sharing the live. Hashtag join us for tea. Hashtag together Bekele Beke. Orange Farm, hello. Sanbonan. Senbuil. Anhambang. Ngaham. At least 5 new people again. Okay, great. Next up, I have the privilege of introducing a powerhouse, internationally accredited and certified somatologist. Angazi, but it sounds like you're powerful. Uzo Strazel. All right, specializing in therapy, stress management, relaxation, assisting in clients in general well-being, and filling their work and life balance. Yes, balance. Work and life, work and life. She's a specialist at this, and she's going to be speaking to us on how SMMEs can position themselves for funding. She's in the building. She's in the building. She's in the house. Orange Farm, let's show some love. Let's show some love. Orange Farm, let's put our hands together for Pusalet. Oh, come on, Orange Farm, Orange Farm, Orange Farm, Orange Farm.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, guys, I love you. Kalerata, wait. The energy in J, it's on fire. Thank you for being here. And did you congratulate yourself? Because it's not everybody who's here who has an opportunity to come and learn. And you left your bed, you left your friends, you left your family, you decided to come here to be empowered. Well done. So, what excites me about what I'm going to talk about, especially the opportunities or even how to position yourself to be funding ready, is because I was once at the position where I wanted to get funding. I was once at the beginning of my journey in the entrepreneurial space, sat before the panel of judges, sat in front of the audience that were voting for whether to be the one getting the money, sat and be adjudicated against other entrepreneurs who were doing amazing things. And I had to learn things that some of you today I'm going to tell you, some of you know, but maybe you're not here, you haven't started. Because it's easy to pitch your business, it's easy to be articulate, it's easy for you to speak big English, right? But there are certain fundamental things that any funding institution, when they fund you, they look at. And when you start a business and you decided, I'm going into entrepreneurial space and I'm going to start a business, you need to start thinking about these things because they're going to happen one way or the other. Especially if you are creating a business, you are not just looking at self-employment. Many of us, when we start business, the first thing you ask entrepreneurs, they will tell you, I'm looking for funding, which is good. But is your business or your idea sustainable? Are you fundable? Are you an entrepreneur that is worthy to be given money? Because we're not going to look at your business in terms of what kind of a business you're running. We are also going to look at you as an individual, your mindset, your character, your personality, everything that encompasses you as an entrepreneur. Is it someone whom we can trust with our money? Right? And let me tell you, many of you sometimes think, where you come from matter. Actually, that doesn't matter. Who you are matters. So, quickly, I was introduced as a stress and relaxation therapist. That is where I started in my journey in the wellness space. I've ran a company called Therapeutic Charge Studio, and then later moved into Mind Retirement Institute. I sold the previous company and then I started another one. So in my years at the Therapeutic Charge Studio, I was funded by Umsombovu at the time. It used to be called, and I know they are here today, NYDA. I hope I saw they are part of the sponsors. So it was a learning curve for me because I needed at least the minimum of 2 million to run a whole spa at a time, to buy a property, to be able to convert it into a wellness spa where corporates would come and have their staff to be assessed medically, to have therapy, holistic therapy, to go through medical checks. And it was such a good concept at the time because it was something that the companies were willing to invest in. So in me preparing myself for funding, I needed to have all my statutory requirements in place, have a company that is registered with CIPC, have my tax, at the time it was tax clearance, now it's called tax PIN, be ready, have my finances ready, but I couldn't afford to get any funding at the beginning of the journey. I had to do it after 2 years of my existence. And the reason, and the main reason why I couldn't be funded for that value is because I needed to build first value within my business. I needed to show that I am capable of making money. I needed to show that I've got clients that are willing to buy from me. I needed to make sure that I've got contract in place that are just waiting for me to get access to funding. And I also needed to make sure that the viability of my business, the scalability of my business, and also the employment rate that I'm willing to produce through this business. So at the beginning, they won't fund me because if I was the therapist and just one-man business, didn't have any financials, didn't have any bank account to show that there's money in, money out, it's not about how much money is sitting in your bank account. Most of you are wealthy, but the money is not in your bank account. It's sitting with your assets. So I read a quote, I think it was Jig Jigla, who was saying, it's better to use other people's money than your own. Right? So now, here I am, I'm in need of a property to function in because the most expensive thing was for me to rent somebody else's building and convert it into a wellness center. I realized if I have to retain an asset that I have borrowed that 2 million, it gained value over time. By the time maybe I want to sell that property, I will get my money back and I would have paid them, and it means I've made my money through somebody else's money. That's what it means. So our thinking needs to be able to see, we need to be in the mind of how do we continue building business or building assets. Because the stock that is sitting in your shelf, it's actually a liability to me. If it's not sweating for you, those machineries that you have purchased, if they're not sweating for you, they're occupying space and they're gathering dust, they are costing you. Because according to the accounting, they will lose value. And eventually when you want to sell it, it's no longer at the same of the book value that it came in as. So these are the things we need to understand, and that's what we need to capture. Even now, if you have stock or you have machinery, you need to continuously update them on your asset list and give it to your accountant to also show you by when you should have sold them, because if they pass that time, they're actually no value. Anyway, coming back to my story, it's always important. I prepared a presentation for you, but it is also very important maybe to share the story from the heart, right? Are you still with me? Okay, cool. So now I wanted somebody else's money to build my own money. At zero, just what I had was the qualification and the knowledge, and I surrounded myself with the right people and I asked the right questions. Number one, if you have a pen and paper as I'm writing, please put the nuggets down because that's how you will remember. Chances are when you walk out of this door, you're only going to remember 20% of what I said. So in terms of refreshing your mind, it will be important for you to write it down because some of the things I will be talking about are not here on my presentation. Right. Number one, as a small business, who advises you? Who do you go to when it comes to your financial acumen? Who do you listen to? What do you read? What do you watch? What is on your social media statuses? Who are the business owners that you network with? If you are not going to immerse yourself with knowledge and with the right mindset of being able to understand the language of money, you will miss the opportunity and you will miss seeing the money when it's ready for you. Money has a language. Have you heard it? You know how it sounds like? It's very affluent. Money has a language. Can you speak it? One language is if you go through I just passed the toll gate coming here, and there was a beep. Where is that money going to? Because they took it out of my bank account. There was a sound. For every time money comes in and money goes out, there's a sound. For some of us, we only hear it once a month. But not only when it comes in, because you hear it every time you swipe, but it's not coming towards you, it's leaving. So the beeps that should be coming should be the beeps when it notifies you of an income, not when it's an expense. You see? And I believe that money loves you. Because it loves me. And that's what I'm talking about, is the mindset. Do you believe that you are worthy? Do you believe that you have what it takes to turn around a business, to turn around 10 rand into 20 rand, to turn 20 rand into 100 rand, to turn 100 rand into $1 million? Do you think you have what it takes? Because it starts here. My company now is called Mind Retirement Institute, right? So I will always be talking about the mind, because I believe that you are the currency that you are looking for, provided that you know how to become a magnet for it. And it starts in the mind. So, I have only 30 minutes, Jesus Christ. Let me rush through, otherwise I'll start motivating a lot. So, going back, I'm still telling you a story. So, I had to access money through various ways. There are many ways in how I had an opportunity to raise that 2 million I'm looking for to put a property, right? So first one was through the banks. So with the banks, the one thing they needed to see and to look at is, do I have surety? Do I have something as of an asset that when I apply, they could use it should I fail to pay them? Do I have other assets that are quick to cash out should I default in my payments? Or do I have people who can sign up for me and say, should this person not pay us, at least we have this land you can take? And I did not have. I couldn't put my mother's house. She would not dare sign it for me. So literally, I did not have. So what do you do in a case where you do not have surety? Do you know? No? So what I did, I went to my clients and I asked them to write me a letter to confirm that they will continue being my client. I went to corporate clients that I had contracts with because I already had signed contracts. I used that as well as a support to say, I have a contract worth 3 million over the coming 2 years, and I need to function because that's where your money will come from to pay you because this is signed. I had to, because it was a big space, I had to put segmentation within to say, this corner is a psychologist, this corner is a medical practitioner, this corner is a doctor's room, this corner is a massage therapist, and all of them had to sign and say they're going to be tenants. So meaning their money when they pay my rent is their money. I'm just trying to show you that there's always a way. You just have to find a way. And do not be fearful. Guys, money doesn't want fear. It doesn't live in a fearful space. It repels that energy. So be bold enough to go and ask. I mean, what? Nobody's gonna die if they say no. Right? In fact, start loving people who say no to you because they stimulate your mind to think differently. This thing of you guys are like, what if they say no? Yeah, let them say no. And no is a yes in your mind. It's not yet converted. That's an attitude you have to have. So I had to gather all that. You can imagine, I had to put meetings, I had to make sure that they understand my vision. I had to put a business plan, I had to draw up what we call business model canvas to present to them, to show them what I'm seeing. So that they see how they fit into the picture. Because when I sell it to you, you need to benefit from it too, in order for you to buy, right? So that's what I did. And that's how the bank gave me the money. So now, one thing I didn't realize was, yes, I got an asset. Yes, it's big now, but it has no equipment and no finish. And I still have to function, right? I still have to put the desks. I have to put the reception. I have to put the massage beds, all this equipment that will make the place look like a good wellness center. Because all the tenants, I said to them, you come and plug in. It's a co-working space. So now they come alone, and then I have to make sure that in their room, their requirements, a desk, a table, a plinth is there. So now that's when I went to NYDA, which was Umsombovu at the time, and I said to them, guys, I need equipment. I need to be funded for equipment, and luckily I was still under 35, so I could qualify. I guess some of the institutions, their own regulations in terms of who they can fund. So you need to understand when you approach a person, understand what are your requirements, what is it that they want you to have in place. So now when I went there, they came and evaluated the place, the same thing. Any funding institution, whether it's a grant, whether it's a funding, they will always have something that they want in return. So I needed to understand that. But because at that time I have a property that is a hall that is waiting and that is not yet fully finished, I did not read my terms. I signed on the dotted line. I mean, in the journey of entrepreneurship, there are moments of regrets, guys. Especially if some of us were lazy to read, you will find yourself in trouble. I was in a hurry. I needed signature. So I signed. In fact, I remember very well that the only person I asked who was part of my advisory board, because what I did, I was advised to put an advisory board with a team of people who are in business, whom I can consult when I need help. So one of the things they advised me, in fact, me going for funding was part of the advice I got from them, to say, in order for you to achieve this, you need this amount. Let's work on terms of the value, how much you need. And I somehow maybe forgot that I would need equipment from that advice. But anyway, one of the advice I got, and in my team, there were people who are very prominent in business, which I don't always like name dropping, but yeah, they help me a lot. And using them as well, because that's another thing, entrepreneurs. People whom you know have a good reputation, they can work for your business. But you need to ask them permission to say, can I mention you that you are my client? Can I mention you that you are my business mentor? Can I mention that you are my advisor? And that on its own, people see, oh, if this person can work with this company, there must be something about it, right? Credibility, that's how you build your business credibility. One of the ways, there are many other ways. That will be a topic for the next round when we come back, right? I'm coming back, right? Okay. So, I then had to look at what do I need. So I produced everything, I submitted, and I got the money. And the money they gave me was about, it wasn't much, 150K, because I just needed equipment, and that's what I needed, really. It was a lot if you don't have it. It's not my money after all, and it goes back with interest. So meaning when I paid back, I paid almost 200 and something. Okay, so once I put the equipment in, I worked. I made a mistake of not knowing that when I purchase a property, it needs to have a business right. So whenever you look for funding, whatever the money you're going to be needing, make sure you are covered, even understanding the policies of the land you are going to plow, or the car you are going to buy, things like that, because you can be caught up in certain things. Here I am, I bought a property that was in the right location, but doesn't have business rights. And I started fighting with the residents around, because they are saying I'm causing traffic for them. So now what do I do with this elephant now that is sitting here and I've just bought? So I tried by all means to ignore after putting the equipment. And later it caught up with me, because the municipality came knocking at my door with 250,000 fine of operating 100% of the residential property without business rights. We do those mistakes, right? So as I'm telling you a story, start seeing where you might go wrong. I managed to run 2 years in that property, but at the end of the day, it was a pain, because I was fighting with the residents. And now it means I had to find another venue. So when I move for another venue, do I sell? Or do I rent it out and then go find a place where I can move? So I had to look for different opportunities. So funding, I know you want to know how the story ended. I'm coming back next time. I'm still sticking to funding. The beauty about getting funding from institutions like the government institutions, their percentage in terms of the return is not that high as compared to the banks. But you need to honor it, because as you default in your payment, interest also kicks in, and eventually you might end up paying a lot. I could not pay back the money because of now the struggle of the residents, the clients were not coming as I thought. Remember, when you have a picture of starting a business, you think people are going to come running. People were not running to my premises, guys. They were coming to take pictures because it was beautiful. They would sit just for pictures and to be seen. It was like a place where people want to be seen at but not spent at. And people thought I was fronting a white person, and yet it was my place. And because the moment they're not spending, the stress level is going up, and I'm not even enjoying the beautiful place, because I'm just thinking how much I have to pay at the end of the month. Because now I had to employ more people. The bigger the place, the more you have to hire more staff. The more the overheads go up. On average, my overheads were about 250K per month that I needed to pay back. And sometimes my income were about 80, it means there was a shortfall. So where does NYDA feature now? It doesn't feature, right? And I have to pay them back. And the one I made sure that I paid was the bank, because they will come and repossess. But I respect it. So, but respect everyone. Respect everyone. But you know, there's a thing about business that I've learned. When it comes to payment, and I'm not too quick to pay out because I want my money to build interest. But at the same time, I go according to the one who charges me the highest interest rate. I will prioritize them. The one with the least will always be the last I can pay, because I know it's not harming me that much. So those are the kind of things that you get to learn, especially if, because it's like, you know, money laundering in the business. Just have to see where you, so that you can still survive. So there was a shortfall. I can't pay the loan. So Umsumbovu took me to lawyers. I remember that day very well, guys. It so happened, these people are so cruel. Who comes and give you the sermons on Sunday? Yeah, no, that's disrespect. I can, sorry guys. This thing more fat. Who comes and guys, ignore me. Is it me here, this one? You wanna change? I must hold it like this. What are you saying? Ah, that is the problem. Okay. Thank you. It's not this. Okay. So Sunday, who comes and knock at your door to disrespect you like that? I know Yabakolota Mar guys, can you really just give me respect? Huh? Can they just respect you enough to say, okay, go drink water. It's still in the morning, have tea. Right? Then I'm receiving that and I'm like, oh Lord, I am not ready to open this document. I've received it and now you sign, because I guess they have to show how they gave it to you. I go to church, and that day, my summer, like literally I was hoping the pastor to come with solutions, because now I have no answers. The thing about fear is it cripples you from thinking clearly. Something that's small or something that you can easily move yourself out of, you get so caught up to a point that you want to just lay in bed and hide. You don't want to show your face because you're thinking, I'm owing people, they can see that I'm owing. So be careful. When you chose the journey of being an entrepreneur, no hurry, you will be faced with owing people. Stop running. In fact, go for them and tell them, hey, mfana kya ukolota. So unahana nka upatela jwang so? Ukamakala ufa solution ya ukuna umupatela yang. Huh? People come up with answers. In fact, people always have answers for other people, not for themselves. So ask them, how do you think I can pay you? How can you help me pay you? Right? So I didn't do that, and I kept on running. That's why I can end up like Kasandeba and disrespect. Baba? So now, go to church. Maybe I should pray harder so that I can come back. Otherwise, I'm faced with court, and they might come and repossess some of the things to pay themselves back. Oh, what an embarrassment. Remember, now it becomes a mountain. You entrepreneurs, sometimes you are overthinkers. You are so much of an overthinker that you even build a mountain that doesn't exist. Just because somebody gave you summons, you're thinking your children are going to stay in the street. You're thinking, yo, my car, now they won't see me in my beautiful car. Stop it. In fact, be at the point where you say, if they have to come, I'm going to welcome them. Then I'll start again, because the one thing they're taking is assets, but they're not taking my skills, right? That's the moment then you win. That's the moment you win. If you have been in business, you haven't lost, right? You haven't learned. Bona rona ba lositseng ba kana go ba skemile along the way. Bona re resilient tat. We build a muscle. The muscle la go kitla wa ke a tsoga ene ke lo e batla gape. Be ke tle go wena gape. Guys, failang. O ko le faileng. Failang. Le we le tsoge. O ska dula mo fatshe. Do not stay there. That doesn't define you, does not make you a useless failure. All these things that you define yourself with, because Lunabatung, you guys are hard on yourselves. Stop it. Huh? You're too hard. This thing you want to laugh at, what? Yes. Yeah, imbethile, ne? Move on. What's next? You really need to build that kind of resilience in you. So now, I went to church, come back from church, the prayers, in fact, then I come back and open it. I realized that I need to be in court on a certain day. I had about 7 days or something. For some reason, while I was at church, I didn't realize that actually I got my prayers answered. For some reason, I was approached by this pastor's daughter, who I know but I hardly speak to, but I knew she's my pastor's daughter. And then she approached me with that mindset of saying, oh, I know you've been in business. We admire you in business. You are doing so well. And then I'm sitting there thinking, if only you know. You wouldn't even think about it. So, so how can you help me? Because I want to start a business like yours. I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, where the hell are you going? But anyway, I said, oh, is it? Tell me about it. No, me and my husband, we were in Senton just 2 days ago. We were looking at the businesses that are on sale. I'm passionate about it. We have the money to start. When she said we have money to start, I'm like, huh? So guys, have an ear to listen. People are answering you, but have an ear. Have an ear. Because sometimes even your intuition tells you, you don't need funding, you just need self-discipline. So she said she had money. And guess what Puseletso did? I'm like, oh, there's another income generating opportunity right there. So some of the things that you, when you're looking for funding, is sitting next to you or is sitting within your people around you. It's not only going to be through institutions, grants, government. It could be sitting with people. It depends on what value you want to exchange with that person. You could be selling some shares in the business so that they can come and partner. But that's another topic in terms of choosing the right partner in business, right? I have only 5 minutes and I have to wrap it up. I'm going to go fast. But are you gaining something out of this conversation? Cool. So, then within a day, she gave me, I sold her 30% of my shares and she gave me 450,000 and I paid Umsumbov. So, you see, I believe that I trusted God to help me and He did. So, for some of us who are Christians and who believe in God, we use that as another power to exercise. For everything and every time we go enter that door to ask for money, we put Him first to clear the way. So practice that. Pray about the plans you have about your businesses. As you put business strategy, put it in spirit. And you know Habakkuk 2 talks about put your plans in paper so that those who know can run with it. So guys, we are intertwined, we are connected, and as it is here, there's another opportunity that you can look at. How can we do crowdfunding? But when we are in the crowdfunding where we help one another, can we be trustworthy people? Huh? Can we know, I have borrowed 20,000 to go and buy a laptop, I need to return it back so that another person can benefit? Because for whatever money you are going to ask for, you need to pay it back. So do not always think the mindset of, I want funding. Ask yourself, how will I pay this funding once I've gotten it? Because it seems like some of you forget that. When I was adjudicating for a National Gazelle at CEDA, I know that people who presented, they forgot the part that they have to pay us the money back. Right now, you have a chance of pitching your business to get 50,000. What if that money, we want it back? No, you're thinking you're going to pay it back. The point is you are going to pay it back because you have to invest it in the business so that it can grow. So when I ran such competition, I was working for South African Institute of Chartered Accountants and I ran their program for over 7 years. The entrepreneurs that we gave money, every time when they got money, they forgot about the plan that they presented to us. So now, for you to generate money, for you to make money, you have to have a money mindset. Money mindset is not the one that is fearful of taking money out because money will come back. But at the same time, respect what you do to other people's money. Respect it, because it will respect you back. Guys, I have a lot to share with you, but because of time, I hope what I've shared with you was beautiful. Thank you so much. It wasn't 30 minutes, guys. Oh, evidence.
Yeah.
Right. Give me my phone. Give me my phone.
And it's like she was flowing. Ngaya na kena. Sorry, time. Askies. Kupagam shapelong matsoho. Please can we put our hands together for Aspuseletso. The story is Saudi, deep. And I think you've got more stories. Please come to the front. We want to take 3 questions. Does anybody have questions for her? Yes, my sister. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can we get the other mic, please? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's start with the brother there, and then we'll bring it to the front to my sister.
Should I go to the front?
Kuluma, boss.
Hi, sorry. My name is Norman. Just to introduce myself. Just a student at University of Pretoria. My question is on the investment process, right? There's a journey in terms of like investment, even after like pitching. You pitch, and then after that you meet with the investor for coffee, and then blah, blah, blah. You talk about term sheets. You get to the point of closing the deal, and then getting the money to your account. Can you just quickly help us with that process? Because I think it's very vital. And sometimes like the nitty-gritty stuff, we miss them. Like having all your documentation to share with the investor, to show the overview of your whole business. Like saving stuff on Google Drive, stuff like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's start with, there are different types of investment that you can access. Depending on the need of what you need money for. Some people want to purchase assets, others want working capital, others want bridging finance, others want to pay expenses, which is part of working capital. So when you go and have that pitch to your investors, the investors want to really look at your business and see, firstly the business, they look at how have you been capturing your finances. Do you have your monthly or your annual financial management in place? And it's not cooked ones, the legit ones that are done by your accountant, right? I guess there's a cooking and there's a right. Do the right things, guys. So once you have that, is your business, has it been in existence? Can you show the sweat capital that you have put in? Sweat capital could be the time that you have spent in your business running it full time. Because some of us are 1 leg in, 1 leg out. And they also look at the amount, the strategy or the plan you have in terms of growing the business. The sustainability in terms of also how can it scale up? Can the business function without you in it? Are you the business, or you are running a business that can grow outside of you? Do you pay yourself an income? How much do you pay yourself income versus how much you are getting? Because some of you, if you are getting 80,000 every month and then you're paying yourself 79,000 every month. So they also look at your compliance. Your compliance, we have mentioned, it's all your requirement, including if you are in a construction, they will want to see your CIPC documentation and the level of gradings and all those things where you are at. The other thing is, you as a person who's pitching a business to an investor, invest in knowing and understanding who the investors are. Because you will be able to position your business to suit their needs. Some of people are looking mainly into certain industries only, and if you're not in that industry, maybe chances are you're not going to get money. And many of us, when we don't get money in certain places, we're thinking we didn't do anything right. It's just that it wasn't for you. So the last thing maybe that is also important for you to remember about you is the fact that you shouldn't be on, you must have a good credit record. Do you know, as much as you are applying funding for business, they also look into your personal lifestyle? And that could actually affect how your business become funding ready. So be aware that you and your business, you need to really work hard. So for some of you who started Body Edgar Silibo Sales House, go and close those things. Because if you default on them, they give you a bad record. So go learn about how to improve your credit score, because that will work for you as well when you are looking for to be somebody investing in you or to access funding at any institution. Brother, did I answer you? Thank you. Somehow when he spoke about investment, I thought of investment is another opportunity of you right now, whatever income you are making. I've always learned the habit of putting 5% towards an investment, and I don't touch it. Because there are rainy days where now, like COVID, when it happened, we needed to tap in some of the investment we did through the business so that it can assist. So do not touch that 5% of your income, put it towards an investment so that you can always have access to funding without having to borrow money from someone. Okay. Second question.
Hi, sis. Thank you so much.
We want to see you go.
Thank you. I like that. So my name is Tuli, and thank you so much for this very helpful session. I really acquired a lot from listening to you. I have two questions.
Yes.
You said you got property, right? And the banks needed surety and everything. And I'm not experiencing that, but doesn't that property become surety? Do they not accept they have that very own property as surety? That it goes back to them if I'm unable to pay it. Do they not do that?
Second question.
Cool. When you now were at the church and the daughter of the pastor, yes, did you disclose your debt to her?
Okay, I'll get there. So let's... The first question is the, let me rephrase, let me understand if I get you correctly. I was looking for money to purchase a house. So now you want them to take their own house and to put it as a surety for themselves. You see, it's yours once you have paid it. At that moment, you are being unfair to them because they can't put themselves against themselves for surety. It's still their house. But in other places where you have had track record of paying it and maybe you have even owning it, you can put it up as surety, especially if it has gained interest over time. But in this instance, while you are still looking to purchase a property or buy an asset, that asset is not yours. You can't put a surety against it. They need something else. They need to make sure that they are able to cash out something to pay themselves. You see, when you go buy a house, it's different from how you come buy a car. You know, these people are so easy to give you a car, but they are sometimes difficult to give you a property. And no, it's the owners. The second question is, did I disclose my challenges? Hell no, girl. How do I say, I disclosed it in my mind. How do I say, I owe people? What I knew at that moment is, I owe people is not equal to I'm failing to deliver. So I stuck with the value of my business. And I love her because she didn't do due diligence. She didn't ask for financials, and so she trusted me as a brand, and because of who I am in the industry, because I made my name. So that was good enough for her to think, oh, she's coming to be with the right person. And indeed, she came to be at the right person, because when I bought my shares back, she got double of what she gave me, and it was within 6 months. Yeah. Third question. Is there another question?
We have to close because of time, unfortunately. But you're not going anywhere. You're still around, right? Yeah, you're still around.
It's my wedding anniversary.
It's a wedding anniversary. You can spend it with tea. One more time, please. Can we just give you another amazing round of applause? Needs a session. She needs like an entire session, right? Please, just cut some out.
Can we get the photo? Duncan. Oh. I already know you.
Duncan, I want my wine while we are at this point. Ah, thank you.
Can you speak one?
Never know where these photos are going.
All right, thank you so much. Ohepi. Duncan. Ohepi. So we celebrity. Now I'm going to just talk about thank you. Thank you so much. On behalf of T, we really appreciate you, your vision, and coming to share. So everything that's inside here we've purchased from all the exhibitors. There's biltong, there's there's the beer, anything else. The exhibitors we've gotten from all these products, all the exhibitors here. Thank you. One more time, a round of applause for us, Puseleto. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And then I need to give away Izwe ne? Ikami Izwe ne? Yeah, exhibit. Because I need to give away. I feel like being Oprah, man. I think, guys, let's look at the back. Let's look at that exhibition stand sale. How lovely is that? The guys were selling bikes. Lovely. Guys, please come to the front. I've got something to give. Come through, James. Thank you, Afid. Thank you. So we've got a t-shirt, we've got a book as well to give to you guys to say big ups and we appreciate you. You got the best exhibition stand. Yeah. Learn up. Look at share a book. Look at the page. All right. Let me just introduce our next. All right, the next gentleman that I'm bringing up, the founder of the BizPlug, Silebucho Muleife. He's in the building, he's here. Let me just quickly read his bio. Director, the BizPlug founder of Third. Yeah. You got a lot of fans and a lot of love in the building. Co-founder and shareholder, the People's Fund founding member. His bio is really immense. This guy has done a really amazing work. Alan Gray Orbis Foundation. Yeah, it speaks for itself. Let me read the last one. Our latest win. This is from the bio. Apart from turning over 300 million. In the last 4 years in our funding business, which is the People's Fund, they've secured a 5-year partnership credit with CEDA to fund over 5,000 entrepreneurs with 500 million for their purchase orders. So he's in the building. My brother, please come on stage. Orange Farm, let's show some love. Orange Farm.
Sanbanan. Manje la uthi ngifakela amehlo le. Ninjani kodwa? Igama uSilebucho, ningangibiza uLebu. You'll be a bit shocked ukuthi my command of isiZulu is better than my command of isiSotho. Even though I'm Sotho, it's because I'm one of those citizens who've been forced to move around a lot. I'm a nomad. So I grew up in Swaziland. In fact, I was born in the Free State, Kroonstad. And my grandmother passed away when I was, on my mother's side, when I was 4. And they shipped me over to Swaziland, to my grandmother on my dad's side. All of isiSotho out. Huh? Yeah, I'm sorted. And then all of isiSwati was in. And one of the things that happens with such an environment is that wherever you are, you're a foreigner. So I got to Swaziland. Everybody in Swaziland speaks Siswati, including Abelungu. Everybody. It's just like in East Africa. Abelungu in East Africa speak Kiswahili properly. And it's something that I would love to see in South Africa, where every white person, every Indian, and every other person commands our local languages perfectly. But we're not demanding enough, and that's part of our problem, right? But I like that AmaZulu colonized us, you know? The first thing, I think if you're in Joburg, you've often picked it up that you could be two Sotho-speaking people or two Venda-speaking people, but the first thing you're going to do is speak Zulu together, right? That language has colonized me. I'm for languages that can spread and that are African, and isiZulu has got that potential, right? It's spoken in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, in Tanzania, and I've been very fortunate that I've gotten to be able to travel across the African continent. It's one of the best places that I think we've got so much potential on this continent, and I love seeing that our language is colonizing back. It's taking over, like, you know, in other parts, because it makes it easy, right? We shouldn't always be speaking English all the time. Anyway, I want to get a quick sense so that I don't bore you. I'm bad with PowerPoint presentations, but I'm putting it up because and it's just so that aesthetics, pretty much. But what I would like for us to have is a real conversation, right? And have an understanding because I could be sharing information that's not relevant to you, and what's the point of that? I'm a hustler, I'm an entrepreneur, and therefore, one of the most important things as an entrepreneur is to understand your customer before you sell to them, right? Is to understand the people that you are engaging with before you start pitching solutions to them. So give me a sense in this room. How many of us have not started a business as yet? As if Kalangi business, we're not in business. Just shoot your hand up straight. Okay, sweet. And then how many of us have been in business for less than a year? Just shoot straight so I can see quickly. I need to have an indication. Less than 2 years? Okay. And how many of us have crossed the 1 million rand mark in business? Made more than R1 million in our businesses? Just shoot straight. It's 1, 2, right? Shoot straight. 1 million rand. Turnover, doesn't matter. A million. Not a million, you value a million. All right? So how many of us? R1 million turnover? Okay. So is it safe to assume that a lot of us are still in the starting blocks of our businesses? And we're still trying to figure things out? Then my presentation is not going to be relevant, right? I've got 2 presentations, and I'm going to keep them short, both of them, right? The first one I wanted to show you, actually, I'm going to tell you a bit about the People's Fund, right? And why it exists. I've been in the space of entrepreneurship, both as an entrepreneur, as a hustler, and all sorts of things for the last 20 years odd, roughly, give or take, right? And my starting blocks were pretty harsh. Khulele Hipro, Baba Mumfundisi, Mama Ines, Neyaz Mosi poverty vaganjan. And where is the angazi babe fostela and marabang fire skela sabongam. So I went to Model C schools. I'm 42 years of age right now. I was one of the first few black kids in the, 95. It was rough. I think it was one of the worst decisions they made. But, we'll do what we have to. Our parents thought that was the best thing to do at the time. And, they did what they could. Mara, the thing is, when you're in an environment of abantu abanenyugu, when upusha nge-underpene one iviki lonke, or idlakho lipusha ngepenteli one elinembobo, and edladleni igawulo kunzima, like makuthiwa 3 days akunagawulo kuyazanywa, and as a result sithandaza kakhulu ngoba somehow kumele imana nje iwe somewhere, it's that type of environment, and then you're thrown into a Model C school, and now you must speak English, and uziluma amalimi obuphuma naseSwazini. So you're a foreigner in some form or the other because you don't have a good command of the local language. Wherever you are, you're an outsider, you stick out, right? And I found that type of environment groomed me for something else. It forced me to try and find solutions for myself to survive. Because I've seen the skills that are about cheese kids. I mean, I remember when I got into high school, JP Boys High, 1,100 boys, only about 98 black boys. So proper minority, proper bullied, proper racism was bad. And because with the first crop, kuthiwa nje nifunani la, you know, kahle kahle nifunani. And then where suppose like baya forced abakufaka nase boarding school. You. Uke waswima ngo-2 ekuseni eChinese ushaye backstroke. Siphuma lapho bafethu, you know. We've been bullied enough in this country, and maybe that's why I do what I do. I fight for the underdog, and I'll do whatever it takes to get the underdog to win, right? That's my mission in life. And as a result, the types of businesses I've always started have always been centered around serving people who, I don't know, extra. And I'm always one of the smaller ones in the room, right? And for me, it's always been about how do we solve this problem for ourselves? And how do we show up as equals in whatever that we're doing? So from day one, when we treat our businesses and whatever that we decide to start, we must make sure ukuthi, you know, abasideleli. Kuna le nto leyo kudeleleka because yabo uthi uvele kanjani. Mina ngideleleka kakhulu ke empilweni. From abo cherry bangidelelile. Yo, bangidelelile. Ngeke ngaba mubi nami yabo. Yazi must be for inyuku. Akagezeki. Nekhala lishayina kakhulu. Shange afro mnyama kakhulu, and somehow ubumnyama bakho nje babengibiza umnyamani. Even edladleni babengibiza umnyamani, you know. And I thank God ukuthi I went through those experiences because it gives me empathy. When I deal with people, I understand that, you know what, we all have a starting block, but the biggest work we have to do is inside. It's not outside. You could be in any environment and the world is telling you whatever, but if you have a strong sense of self-belief, next. Or any, it flips off your back, you know, and then you continue, and you're going to thrive eventually, you know. And I've seen it with us. I mean, with our funding business, we're just over 40 employees. We've done over 300 million rand in revenue with a very simple concept. We keep it simple. So, let me tell you a bit about it. So the People's Fund is pretty much a business that was founded to help each other as us as black entrepreneurs to finance ourselves. To be able to say, and yes, kuna net bank la, mara ngicela ukuba entrepreneur, ngiyazikhulumela mina ne. Yeah. To make sure ukuthi we don't need banks, because majority of us will not be funded by banks. How many of us have been rejected by a bank going in? I'm shooting, you know, straight man. I think it's good for Nedbank to know. Right? But what about rejected? They reject us. The system was not designed for us. It's just not. It's one of those realities, right? And then worse, we've got financial literacy issues, we've got all sorts of things. It's not complex. You know, money, we haven't dealt with ourselves. And now we must get into a system and try and apply for funding. It doesn't work like that. She was stating with your credit record. The reason we get into those credit issues, it's about blacklisted, is because it's a survive of it. It's the realities. Uboleka ngapha uthi uvala ngapha kufike lo chitheka amanzi ngapha pothole ishayile nini nimvula roof yo inhle zikhiphana bafethu siyaphi kanti, you know. I've been through those situations and I understand it. I have empathy when it comes to an entrepreneur. I understand the struggles because I've been through all of them. All of them. I've been married at some point and I got divorced. You can't be an entrepreneur and expect a stable life. If you finish stability, if you need, if you flow that, you must suffer first. You must suffer first. That's the reality. The path to the other side is that you've got to suffer. A lot of us are not willing to suffer. See, if we're not soft, soft life. And you must understand those dynamics. What's the story? I'm going to Jimmy, I be right, at least some cover, totally out. Voga same time. She pending. When right? And if that's the way things go, we've got to first understand that psyche, right? So we founded the People's Fund as a collaboration of 4 companies at the time. Now we've got an extra shareholder, an Australian company that owns 20% share in our business. They've put in the majority of the capital afterwards, after we've started, right? The simple thing that we focused on, it's an asset-backed crowdfunding platform, but we've decided to focus on purchase orders. So purchase order funding. Sawazi onto my purchase order in. Aswazi. The purchase order is just a simple promise of pay from a client. Uya ku Department of Education, ungena ku website, bathi bafuna stationery, now we are applier, angithi bafuna benza yini, i-3 code system. We are applier nawe, but khethe wena. Angithi automatic lento le. Bakhethe bathi po awusihlabe lapha nge-stationery. And then awunanyuka ukudeliver. Because bozama ngithi bodlala ilotho. Sonke sidlala ilotho masingena ku system ye-government. But it's the biggest buyer of goods and services in this country. So it's worth looking at. In fact, over 80% of tenders are owned by white companies. Forget what the media tells you. Whatever that they tell you about blackness and tendering and tenderpreneurship, absolute bullshit. And we must call it what it is, so that we can get in the system proudly. Hayi ngokufoster, hayi masibona malebza or ubulelana iqhamuka sekathola igignyana sithi ungenile sekayithenda, that's why anomkhabanyana. They do that as a system to kick you out, to keep you out. They don't want competition. And it's just the reality of life, right? But we've decided to do a proper investigation into the space, and we've realized that government is underspending when it comes to small businesses. Like completely, and I'm not talking development, I'm talking procurement. But a lot of us have eliminated ourselves from the system. We don't even apply for tenders. It's good to tender. Government is your first client. If there's anything you remember today, is that mawuvuka ekuseni, ngena ku website, register ku CSD, ube mnandi, be fully compliant, and then get into the game. Apply for lama tender lawa mancane lawa. Supplier, they're the biggest buyers of goods and services in this country. They're supposed to spend 30% on people who look like us. More youth, women, all of those. They're supposed to spend it, but they're underspending. Maratinata says it because we don't get into the system and we don't learn the system. Business is a game, and if you treat it like a game, it becomes a whole lot easier for you. Because you start understanding, okay, the business that I want to build is in this space. Maybe let me try and get some cash flow going through some of these things, and then get that cash flow in and start building the business. Over 80% of tenders in this country are white-owned. Mara, I'm a headline at him. Why is it demonized? Because it's war. It's simple, this thing. You play the mind, and if you have the tool to play the mind, you continue with it. The propaganda works, and it's powerful. Hitler did it, and he still built some really good companies. We've seen some German companies that came out of the worst of human behavior. It's happening now in South Africa. Black people are not participating in the economy because demonized the very thing you must participate in. So when you apply for a tender and you're going to get a purchase order, that's what they give you. The purchase order is a promise. If you deliver on the work, we're going to pay you. So they pay after the delivery, not before, which is fair. And it depends. I think the government system is quite easy. Some departments, like about ESCOM, they pay in 7 to 15 days, and about Transnet, and then some pay in 30 days. So it's one of the better cash flow generators, because you can pay quickly. When we identified that gap, and we realized as we're testing out Nati, because Nati we had a lot of, let's go to Msindo, Nati, matenda. So we're targeting private companies and stuff. But actually, more entrepreneurs kept coming to us and saying, I don't have, like Uskini's Boo was doing socks, and he would get the Foshini group to buy from him, and he needed money. We can fund that, it was easy. But somebody coming with a tender, with a purchase order from government and say, hey Joe, I'm getting 150,000 rand to deliver in Zipo. Let's get this, so, dieting. I got it from Department of Education, and I need funding. When we started seeing that there's an opportunity here to make money by partnering with entrepreneurs, it changed the game for us completely. We moved from our normal crowdfunding that we're doing into purchase order funding. We still build that business through community. As in abantu abafana nani so, yibo abantu abafaka inyuku platform. We finance that purchase order. When it gets paid out, we pay it back. We pay the people that have put money in, and then we rinse and repeat. Simple kanjani. Keep business that simple. And I think it's such an important thing for me to stress, because if I'm to talk to you guys about funding, when you're in your starting stages, nobody's going to fund you. That's the reality. People fund where they know that there's going to be revenue. And that's why I'm telling you about purchase orders as one of the avenues that you can look into. Because the moment you get a purchase order, whereas if for sure to the you, our job then in the background is to do the research. We call it due diligence. Due diligence is simple. Sifonela client technique a purchase order, sifonela ama supplier wakho lapho uthola ama quotation, siya check ukuthi vele lento to deliver deliver, check capacity yakho. Do you have the capacity to deliver? And if all of these things check out, we'll give you the money. In 2 to 5 days we fund. One of the fastest funders in this country. That's why we can strike the types of deals that we are striking right now. Where even CIFA, who is a government entity that's meant to be funding entrepreneurs, moves much slower than us. That is our competitive advantage. That's what we've put down as our selling point. And we've just simply said, if we can do it faster than anyone, there's an opportunity to make some really good money. We are building $1 billion company that we're going to sell someday. We'll raise capital to build a business and scale it by selling equity in our business. So all of us started on an original footing of X amount of shares each, but eventually we're to keep selling equity so that we can have more capital coming into the business. Are you hearing me? I'm saying each time you're trying to move to the next step in your business, you're going to need new partners, especially if you're talking to scale. And scale is tricky in a country like ours because, we speak Silicon Valley speak. Yeah, I'm building, I'm going to scale in the next year. We're going to have kulama unicorn. Abantu abantswembu bafethu. Abo Patu, abo Lekau. Abantu abantswembu. And if you look at their background, they actually have a finance background. Bakelezile. So they come with an understanding of how to start and scale a business. What you need to put into place from get-go. People like that actually get their credit profiles in the right way. They go and raise debt funding for them to start their businesses. The reality in our environment is that a lot of us, we've had to start businesses out of survival. And as a result of that, there's a lot of gaps. One of them being your credit score sucks right now. You're blacklisted, you don't have any equity, anything that is tangible, in case you lose the money. That is the reality. So that's why I'm telling you about purchase orders, because the only thing that we look for, that we know is a security, is the purchase order itself. Says what bank account was keep is but no zero money says which you won't qualify if we do it the banking way. You won't. So we don't look for your credit profile. We don't care for it, for that matter. We just want to understand. If you've done business with this client before, it's from the transactional pattern, what happened in there, right? And the reason we do this is so that we can establish trust. And our team does a really great job of that due diligence. But we treat ourselves as partners to entrepreneurs. And the reason for that is we understand. You will realize if you call into our call center, and you call, whether it's chair or before I say the People's Fund. Because Tina, Spusha laba kherezayo. Udonsele purchase order ngene taxi not anemoto. So I understand that idea because we've been through it. We know the system is going to reject you. It's designed that way. So we want to walk this journey, and we found that it's a very profitable journey. Our business is doing anything between 15 and 20 million on a monthly basis. Just from purchase orders, right? And where is it making this money from? It's making it from funding black-owned businesses. The reality, though, is that even not to purchase order, you're still going to get a quotation from a white-owned company for the supplies, because on a production facility. So when I say more than 80% of money that comes out of the tendering system goes back into the white system, I'm telling you about facts and reality, not what the media is going to tell you. So even though the little bit that we are getting, when we get it, it gets pushed back into that system because we don't have means of production. And that is the obsession of why I got involved in enterprise development. On the one side, we run a funding business that ensures that we can fund this thing pretty quickly for you. But on the other side, you've got to walk a capacity development journey with this entrepreneur. You've got to help them cover the gaps. Compliance is a big issue. And I think this is why even Ubulelani has decided to have a keen focus on it when it comes to townships. Because he will remember, even from the days Basa picture at that, there, it was just vibes. Pamba abantu, so middle lapa, 3-minute pitch. Yeah, no, yeah, then we're gonna grow and then we're gonna scale up. Yeah, you know, Shaislung some nandi. Afterwards, flow my wine, some nandi, we need pitch. It's a guy, it's a crowdfunding. The football crowdfunding again, this is stock fair, right? We pick it up and then nandi we need prize. But you're not in the system. We're playing on the outside. So think about that with the businesses that you have started. Are they driving collaboration? And are they making it easy for you to be fundable? One of the things that I want to highlight for you guys when it comes to funding issues, and please forgive me, the slides, my email, that's called here, called sharp, right? One of the things that you've got to realize is that there's no shortage of capital. In you, I short. Mina ngayikhipa la 100,000 lagini aninkholo nina ayishoti inyuku into eshotayo i-value. Are we solving problems or not? And we've got some of the fundamentals that are already in our communities. How many of us are in a stock file? Shoot straight up. If you're not in a stock file, you're losing out. Some of the greatest financiers of our businesses, abo mama bethu. Sithola phi nyuku uma shota nga something ku business yakho. Uqanthini uthatha phi? You understand? So if you are not participating in a proven system for blackness, uzama ukwenzani? It's there. That's the first angel investment fund, a stock file. It's in your community, it's with people that you trust, and it's enabled. Like, you can raise that money quickly if you can prove good lento yoyenza is of value and is of wising your account. The reason we have majority savings stock fund is because of the culture of stock files. Mara, we can turn this vehicle around and use it as an angel investment tool. I'm saying as khohle kancane ngokubheka system sisitshela ukuthi sizoqualify kuyo. It doesn't work like that initially. The system looks at you masasomnandi. Yabona thina bese rejectiwe, mina ngirejectiwe mina isystem. Mara manje sesidonswa isystem. Ezwakala sigayelo, kuzwakala sigayelo, ngiyababheka nje just like asandingi bafethu. We know how to do this thing ourselves. So when that comes, then you learn the game of how to leverage the system to work for you. And then we're going to get there, right? But just remember that in your business and what you are starting, the first type of capital you can raise is through your community. Tina, in May of 2020, we set up a stock file for franchising. In the 2 years we existed, we raised, how much was it? I think it was about 4.5 million. We bought 2 stores. Signs of Facebook lentole. No Facebook ads, by the way. I put up a simple post and I tell them, and can keep a calculator of blackness. If 100 people, if 1,000 black people put 10 rand together, now as I post on Facebook, I get how many people do something that is tangible and real with it? We decided to do something. We set up that stock file, and there's a platform called stockfella.com. Please check it out for yourself, and you're going to find it in the presentations that will be shared with you guys, right? A platform like that aggregates abantu, and it connects you. Omunye ngaba se Eastern Cape, omunye ngaba se Dubai, Mara, you can connect on this platform, ni set up a stockfella senu, and it's transparent. Every day an email comes out, ebonisa ukuthi kukhishweni, kufakweni, ubani. So akunamuntu ozodlala igame kungabonakala ukuthi kwenzakalani. We raised over 4 million rands, guys. Sathenga iitoro eziyi-2. Zafeyila. First store, there was no customers, Sepinon. Second store, sayivula ngoJune, sagijima, 350,000 rand made. July, bathi pa, lootings. Now, khumbula ama-lootings aka-July. We were one of the people who suffered. Bashaya yonke into, bashaya ne-globe, bashaya namakaka. Kasi ke lelo. Kasi ngizokubonisa umhlolo. Lapha eNdofire, eMiddle Point. A beautiful store setup, employing community, making money for community. They decided to kill it and kill their own livelihoods. It's just the realities of poverty. And we've got to realize that. But I'm just simply showing you the potential. What if you providing real tangible value, people are going to flow to you and bring money. Futhi South Africa, we're a gambling community. Nazibona ngama WhatsApp stock fair, nabo Bushiri. And you know, anybody can raise money quite easily here. Easy. Doesn't take a lot. Mara, abaning benu. Boldness. You go to here, I'm making this. Because it's about transparency. The reason I can stand up in front of crowds and even talk about our failures when we collected money from so many people is because we're consistent. Normally, iluziwe, uyayibona ukuthi yephi. Transparency is key. This is one of the things that we don't practice enough. The moment ungasakhona ukudeliver order yakho because whatever kube nama-glitch, so yanyamalala. You've seen that nasekasi. Uboleka umuntu enyuku sekabhizi uposta i-depression ku-WhatsApp status because uyakumanager. Mara mawuhlangana nawe udla i-McDonald's. Mara ku-status uyakumanager ushaya i-depression. Yizo izinto ezenza ukuthi singathembeki. That's actually what makes us not to be fundable. And that's why I'm saying there's no shortage of capital, because the number one asset is you. Business is built at the speed of trust, right? And what that means is that if you are not trustworthy, if you don't have a reference to be trusted, you're not going to be able to raise money. The banking system is just set up to formalize that search. But in your own community, people already know what. It's like when unjandini, no umuntu othembakalayo. And if umuntu othembakalayo, bazokugaya inyuku. Inyuku is short, everywhere. That's why abongamla bayigijimisa bafaka itoro la emakasi. It's because bayibonile inyuku, right? And as a result, bayi-extracta, baphuma nayo, bakushiya ulambile. Ngoba uzoyithenga into yabo uzoyidla namuhla kusasa ulambile futhi. Bese bakuthengisela i-toilet paper. Whereas if nihlangene grand, nathi just this one product, and if we can get behind this entrepreneur like us, asimraisele le nyuku. Even if I fail, siyamzama. And then we're going to help govern, because the governance system is very important. Set up an advisory board, make sure that good structure, be accountable. That's all I'm asking of you. If you're not accountable, it's going to be hard for anybody to trust you with money. I am trusted with money wherever I go. I raise money anywhere, in any country. And I'm calling on formalized systems, guys. This is Zambia, 2 weeks ago. It took us 3 minutes. Singenile, shama phone call, sihlangana nabantu. By the time we paid a little longer, we're already a business that we are setting up next year. Nabantu aba local, because trust is a currency. You must be able to show people that they can trust you, they can search you. Right? And I'll stop there. Yabo.
This man, I want to so ungenile so we receive the fund.
This man tells it as it is. Akajika ungava. Uchakhele, uthi stock fella.
I'll take. This is a gift, man. On behalf of T, we just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for coming to share with the community. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, my brother.
All right, next up is our last one. We have Mbaula chat. That's going to take place. Ubulelani no Mr. Masiza, if they can come on stage. He's a legend, this one. Legend. Akekho umuntu ongamazi Orange Farm. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Masiza. An entrepreneur, business leader, CEO of EmpowerWorks, qualification from VETS among other institutions, project management, a real community leader, a visionary and a builder. Come on, Orange Farm, let's stand up. Orange Farm. Let's honor him. We found that more Godman that's doing amazing work, Orange Farm, a real community builder. Thank you so much, sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Dumela auslizi mogal.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is the second last segment or part of our segment today, which is the Mbaula Chat. Now, Mbaula Chat is when we talk to a local game changer, businessman, and someone who's really just, not necessarily doing amazing community work, but it's always amazing when you see that being done at such a massive scale, right? And none other than the individual that most of the people in the room know, someone I really respect, having met him a number of years ago, and a very humble gentleman. Actually, let's just give him another round of applause, man. Just another. So we'll pretend we don't know you.
Yeah.
We've never seen you anywhere. You're not from Orange Farm. Yeah. We don't know you. Introduce yourself. Who is Simpiwe? Okay. Where is he from? And then I'll follow up with the rest of the questions.
Cool. Okay. Sanbonan, I must say it's such a privilege ukubuya ngizokhuluma nabantu basekhaya. It's a humbling experience ukuthi nihleli until this time. People, but it's triple M today. Ke mekete, ke manyalo, ke mafu. But you guys who decided to be here because you're serious about your destiny, and I think because of that, give yourself a round of applause. And also, the supporters or the sponsors. I only know Auslize Mokhale from Nedbank, also the Nedbank team. The founder or the chair, the president of TIA, Ndate Bulelane. Thank you for also to just to invite me and the rest of other entrepreneurs. Okay. I know there's a saying that says if there's no rush in Russia, no hurry in Harare. We shouldn't rush and hurry in South Africa, because in the days of our lives we need to be bold and beautiful, so we can go in the wild and find the young and restless and help them to find a neat sitingo, so they can become a generation that will fight scandal. And that's how we create a rhythm city. Now, okay, let's go to I was born in Eastern Cape, and then I moved. I stayed to Soweto. Then my mom and I and my siblings, we then moved to Mshengu Valley. And then if you know, Orange Farm, it's abantu abahlala lana, abaningi bakhona babuya eMshengu Valley Soweto. And thina sabaleka ngoba it was during isikhathi violence, if you remember, during Inkatha, and then we decided, actually I didn't want to come to Orange Farm, but eventually I came to Orange Farm. Marangafika like Orange Farm, clever like the rest of other guys ababuya Soweto. And then because of my spirituality, obviously I met Christ, which I'm proud of. And then that's where in life yami yaguquka. And then I started to pursue what God has engineered for me. But the long and short, born in Eastern Cape, grew up in Soweto, ended up in Orange Farm, and my journey started in Orange Farm in terms of entrepreneurship and pursuing my career, as a professional, but also as an entrepreneur.
When you take a moment and you look back at your life, I don't know if you have those moments, right? When you take stock, I mean, it's the end of the year, but it's not just to necessarily take stock of the year, but when you take a stock and you look back at your life, was this always the plan? And if it wasn't, how did it sort of unfold itself over the years?
Strange enough, this was the plan. 26 years ago, I always had a dream. And that's why there's a saying that says, and I normally say to people that your future is a direct proportion of your thoughts. That if you want to reinvent your destiny, just re-engineer the way you think. I always had a dream to be an entrepreneur. Actually, I had two dreams. Because, when we moved to Lana, and my story is the same as the story of the rest of us, or most of us. And I don't want to sound like a broken record. But actually, before I tutor, but share a space la ejabulid, and then I went to tutor. But and then three of us were Romain, if you go extension 6, and all of us were dreams. One of my friends who international relations. The other one is a preacher, because initially I wanted to be a preacher, or I wanted to be an evangelist. But when I saw Dr. David Mlapo giving inspirational lectures, it resonated with me. And I said, look, this is what I can do. And immediately I had two things that I wanted to achieve. That was 26 years, 26 years ago. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I also wanted to be a keynote speaker or an inspirational speaker, and both of them I've achieved. I used to do a lot of motivational talks around Mokokas, because that's where I had to sharpen my saw, and then I went to corporate, and then I got bored, and then I think almost 7 years ago I stopped doing motivational talks. Now I'm owning a company that represents almost 200 leading speakers in the country. Because now I'm behind the scenes and I'm pushing black talent, to deliver content to different spaces, But it was, I've always had this, that, and I was very clear that, when I succeed, if I will succeed, and I know success is very relative and proportional, that I will always extend my hand or a hand to the brother and the sister. And that's what I do a lot of work in Orange Farm. I run a tournament that is called my Caesar tournament. We put a lot of funds. We support Abokoko like us. We support young people. Actually, we also run not a feeding scheme, but where we do lunch for almost 100 young people with my daughter. My daughter, her name, she's called Scarlett. She's an influencer. Some of you might know her, or Mpomi. And we run something that called Scarlet Cares. And we support a number of other people who may not rave about it, because I'm one person that even to my team, I always said, when you support a struggling person, don't get glory out of that. And sometimes as companies we could be, ruthless, where, we give somebody 200,000 or we build a small house, and we spend 2 million just to promote that we've built a house of 200,000. And I normally say to people that, do it in your own corner, and he will then reward you. But we do a lot of work. And I guess to answer your question, I wanted to be both, because, and I knew that if I can, succeed with the little that I have, I will then make sure that I distribute it to some of the young people that are encountering some of the challenges that I had.
So in sort of unpacking that journey, you've always sort of seen yourself being an entrepreneur. Did you work anywhere?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, I've worked,
those building blocks.
Yeah, I've worked for a company called ICANN Foundation. My first job was I worked for Dr. David Mlapo. That was 96. Immediately after my standard 10, now they're called grade 12. And I was a coordinator here, ICANN Foundation, based in Orange Farm. And then 98, I then moved straight to business. Then I started a company called, no, actually I didn't start a company. It was during the advent year BEE. You know, when BEE started, I was then recruited to MD a company called Riahona Project Management Company. And I was given 51%, shareholding, remember those structures. And we ran a number of, I was involved in a number of projects. But I've worked, I know how to report M7, I know how, and then immediately after then, my last stint, I know that I'm accelerating. My last stint, I worked for a company called Kichima AST. I was a GM there for, I didn't stay there because I think I was there for 6 months. Then I then said, look, I'm not cut for this. Immediately I started Empower. It was not called EmpowerX then when I started. It was called Simpure Do It and Consulting, because it was more inspirational talks, personal development programs. And then I moved, then we made a transition almost, how old is my daughter? Almost 19 years ago, when I moved into marketing and comm space. And then I then started, changed the name to EmpowerWorks.
What are some of the lessons you've learned along the way that you've sort of held on to?
Yeah, I think there's a music. I don't know what it's deliberating. Oh, it's outside. Okay, sorry. You're saying what are some of the?
So what are some of the lessons I've just asked the team to,
Okay.
What are some of the lessons you've learned along the way that you've kept till today? Whether it was a piece of advice, whether it was a book you read.
For me, two things, because I can share. One thing is that value relationships, and don't have relationships because you want to get something from somebody. Be genuine. I have a lot of people that I know that are CEOs of listed companies, and most of them for the past 15 years I've known them. I've never asked them a thing. Because I believe that if we're gonna do business, it has to be organic. It must not because I'm a thorn in their flesh, and I've done that for. And I'm saying to you because as much as we have an incredible product, people they do business with people they trust and they connect with. And sometimes it's so worse in the government space that sometimes they will take your idea and give it to somebody that they relate with. And that's a sad part. Sometimes, and I like the brother was talking now before me. There was a time I think 2 years, before COVID, there was a time in my life when I looked at people and I said, you guys, you are tendering, and then, the tendering system is corrupt. I used to say that. And a friend of mine said to me, have you tendered? And I said, no, I'm not tendered. I said, no, then shut up. Because until you get inside the system, then you can have an opinion. And then I called my team. I said to my team, guys, here's the target. I want us, monthly to deliver up to 25 tenders. Cumulatively, collectively, we then submitted up to 140 tenders. To various government agencies and departments. And out of 140 tenders, we had 3 responses that says no. We only got 1 tender, but not big tender, small tender. The rest we didn't get any positive response. I wanna tell why. And most of the ideas that are implemented by most of those agencies, you can tell that these are our ideas. The tagline, the strategy, the digital content around it. Nobody isn't I think what I'm trying to say is, and I know that's the wrong part, but people do business with people that they trust and they connect with. For me, is relationships. The second thing that from the book you are saying, there's a book that I read, it's called Crucible Experiences of Leadership. Professor Thomas described leadership it says leadership, it's about two things. It's about performing art. It says, as you perform, you practice. As you practice, you perform. Let me give an example. An artist, maga performer, or practice for the next session. You know, maga perform, maga practice, or perform. He said, leadership, you're not going to get to a stage where you are perfect. And I'm saying to you as an entrepreneur, Goti, you'll continue to make mistakes. But continue to make new mistakes, don't make the same mistakes. And I always say to my kids, you know, my kids, to say, magayenza a mistake or I pull something, no matter how expensive, I'll be often complaining it, babes, you have a right to make a mistake, but don't make the same mistake. The third thing, and I'm closing now so I can talk until, always attribute intelligence to your competitor. Because once you think that you are the best thing that has happened to peanut butter, and then it was over caught up with mediocrity, it was over complacence. You know, as Sansui says, always attribute intelligence to the person sitting next to you. Because in that way, you begin to perfect yourself, you work your fingers to the bone, you burn the midnight oil, and then you perfect the art of doing whatever that that you're doing. The last one, then I'm done. Sorry, I know that I behave like a preacher. Because preacher they say I'm done, I'm finishing. This is the last one. There's a guy, the guy who I forgot his name. He says, when you meet with people, you must look for three things. Or when you want to bring people in your ecosystem or in your circle, look for three things. One, look for intelligence, and then secondly, look for energy, and thirdly, look for integrity. And he says, if they don't possess the latter, disregard them. Because no matter how energetic, whether they have a good energy, they have intelligence, but if they don't have integrity, so don't even consider them. And those are some of the things that, as an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you look for. You look for integrity. You look for relationships. But over and above, you understand that people do business with people that they trust. So.
No, thank you so much. You know, one of the things I like, right, that you mentioned, and I was just taking notes here, around relationships. Yeah. So you had these relationships with all these individuals, but you never pressed them. You kept them genuine. How did you balance that? Because majority of the time, especially when you're an entrepreneur, you walk into a room and the moment they say, here's Mang from Nedbank, everyone floods to that Mang. But it's not a genuine connection. So I think my question then is, how then do we then better manage delaying the gratification, actually leaving here and building genuine relationships so that it's not transactional?
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's transactional.
Yeah, it has to, you have to balance that. There are people that you know that they're looking for good ideas. And I like what my colleague who just presented. There's enough money or enough capital, but what is lacking? Ideas. But for me is, if you are here, and then there's Bulelane, and you think that Bulelane will connect you to the right person, there's nothing wrong to go to Bulelane and present your idea. Are we all together? But there's everything wrong for you to be a thorn in his flesh. When umfonela nangabo 11 and nangabo 12 ebusuku. You know, because now you're bordering between ukuhasela and ukuharasa. Are we all together, colleagues? I think we need to. Let me give a simple example. Kunokuthi mafike eKasa ne uzobata aphiwe angifake nami yabona. Mara ngithi ngokufaka kuphi yathami? Angifake la Empower Works. Uzokwenzani? Noba ngaklina aphiwe. Mara sinama cleaners yabona nasivalela manje. Yena ngoba oromonye afike kuwata yaziphiwe ekuyabheda man, kuyabheda yazi life ifana njenga-arch kanjani angazi yathana. But mamela Pius, if you have a good idea, and I even a business idea, and the issue is that the reality, sorry, if I have a business idea, why must I give it to you and not give it to Lefa? Le first my younger brother. And what I'm trying to say, and I know that I'm being hard to go much to Gucci, you know, people will only support you, especially if you're pestering them or you're hustling them. If you carry an idea that you have done your own research, you have done your own benchmarking, and then you come to me and say, please, I think this is bankable. I want to do this. Then we're talking. But the other thing, which is the last thing, this is a disturbing, and let me say this. You know, for a living, I put people together. That's what I do for a living. I put people together. I always, you know, put entrepreneurs, you know, imagine. That's what I do for a living, and I enjoy doing it. I do it in my house. I do it in Orange Farm. I do it at officing. I do it throughout the, you know, the country. But there's this thing that sometimes is a thorn in my flesh. You bring Usis Lizzy, you bring Ubulelane, or letter Romeo there. And you know what, these are the people that will connect you to your destiny. There's nothing wrong about that. 2 days later, ufonela mina amasiza ankaye namba kalizi. Kanjani tam? Usisilizi begeda, ubulelane begeda. Manje mina I must become your extended marketing or sales guys, and yet I brought those guys lapokon. I would understand if you are saying with Nyampelela, you know, angataka ngazi, ngicela ungayi context. It's a different story. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm going to like that.
No, I think you've give him a round of applause.
Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah.
So just a couple more questions, just 4 more questions. Okay. I look at you, you don't look like struggles, you don't look like you've been through tough times. And that's the thing about people who've been able to perfect the art of, you know, building and not looking like they're problems or they're challenges. You know, they make difficult things seem easy, and in the process of making difficult things seem easy, you know, I think in our foolery, because when we perceive them, they look so perfect, we don't think that they've had any struggles. Have you had? And what do those look like? What were some of your low moments in business?
No, I had struggles, my friend. I'm writing a book now about my journey. You know, when I started, I was an MD of Ria Juan. I was 22 years. And I think I came to Orange Farm 3 times. You know, being bankrupt 3 times. You know, I had a room like Orange Farm, at least now, you know, going to shower. If it's into the Mosheg, at least, shower. But I was bankrupt 3 times as an entrepreneur. I was, you know, the office where I was, I had a sheriff coming to my office more than 3 times to come and attach from different suppliers. And it was the same, I remember it was the same sheriff who came and said, "It's you again, Mrs." I said, "Come, man, let's have a chat." They said, "No, you know, I'm going to undervalue your assets so that at least, you know, the provider doesn't think that you are liquid." But we have gone through this. You know, we've gone through, you know, where you owe SARS, and you have to pay a lump sum. But my philosophy is always says, I've always had this philosophy that even in winter you don't burn your furniture to make fire. You know, you don't give up. For me, I always had resilience. I had foresight. I knew that all things come to an end. There's a book that I was reading that says, the title of the book talks about ending well. It says, all things come to an end. You know, what you're going through, it will come to an end. You know, including those who are married, the Bible says, until death do us apart. There's nothing permanent under the sun. And I had those struggles. You know, I grew up in a shack like the rest of us. Grew up in a one room where you know, but in the midst of that, I had a dream. And that's why I'm saying to you guys, you are in a right environment. My advice to you, dream and dream big. When you are young, you have an added advantage because you can call anyone. You know, I think when we had my public phones were Telkom, I used to hassle a gentleman by the name of Peter Vundla, head boys. Peter Vundla then became, He became my mentor, and I had an incredible journey. And because I would call him, he will say to me, "Call me at 12." I'll call him at 12. Say, "My sister, no, call me at 5." I'll call him at 5. He would say, "Send me an email," or "Send me an email." I remember when they said, "Hey man, I've given up. I think come to my office." It was at AMB, African Merchant Bank. And then we'll drive from AMB, we'll put me in his 7 Series, we'll go to Wandi's, and then we'll enjoy food. And then my perspective started to change. You know, to say, at least manje, ngihamba ngemoto, and at a screen, you know that screen there. Nginamankhula one day, ngifuna uhamba ngemoto and a screen. You know, because sometimes it's an environment, it's an ecosystem. You need to find yourself in a different environment. Because fana nobuhle, khona lapho uthi bongena khona ubona ukuthi yabona la nyababa ngopelepele. Mara if you're going to limit ubuhle bakho lana uhambe, methi uhamba uphume uye Dubai ubona ukuthi ayimarila ngekho muhle la. Yena ala no bangathini la. Because everything in life is proportional. It's a relative. You understand? It's about the environment. You get what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is, I had those challenges, but I never gave up, Bulelan. I never gave up. You know, I'll even when I used to give motivational talks, I would talk about wealth and go back and lean and have nothing. And I think that was maybe that's why I left motivational speaking, and now I represent the speakers, because they can talk about something that that they have. But I had challenges, like the rest of us. Yeah.
What kept you in the game? What kept you going and inspired to post-bankruptcy you came back?
Yeah, my kids. I think for me, I wanted to give my kids a better prospect. I didn't want them to grow up the way I grew up.
Just 1 second, sir. Guys, if you can just keep it down for me. We're going to wrap up just now.
So for me, my kids, I didn't want my kids to grow up the way I did. You know, hustle. I didn't want my kids to hustle. Secondly, I knew that if I run my business and I run it well, it would give me 2 things. It will give me influence, and it will give me affluence. And sometimes you find that other guys, they will have influence and not affluence. Others, they will affluence and not influence. And I can decode that, one day when I give a talk. But I wanted both. Influence in the point that I could pick up a call and call somebody and say, "There's a young man here who's running this particular business. Please do help him." Affluence to a point where I could take from the little that I have and not feel that I've taken something and support somebody. You get what I'm saying? And that was my aspiration. The second thing that made me to pursue this journey was, and I always say to people that there's a difference between personality and personhood. Personality is when people, they like you, but personhood, it's humanness. And I wanted, and it has always been my dream that when I succeed, people must be able to relate with me. If it happens, and I'm not saying I'm there, but I'm just saying, people that must not relate with you because of materialistic possession, as much as you have, but you must have that personhood. The last thing that I want to add was, I knew it, early in my journey, that I wanted to create a bit of equity around the Masiza surname. Because I always say to people that there are 2 things in life that you must always be aware of. There's what we call responsibility, and there's what we call recognition. Recognition is not responsibility. No responsibility is a recognition. Responsibility belongs to your name, but recognition belongs to your surname. Okay, let me explain to you. When we are about to graduate and we are about to be awarded a PhD degree, who gets more excited? Who works lyrical about that? It's your family. When you okay, you're going to have a bit of excitement, but doctor. It's your family. Because your responsibility and you burning their midnight oil is bringing equity to to your surname and is bringing recognition to your surname. I think what I'm trying to say is that if you don't work hard, where as an entrepreneur, you are not contributing equity, to your surname. And therefore, you're not going to have the recognition, that you deserve. There are other surnames that when you mention that surname, it just opens doors. Not because of anything, because the ones that carried those surnames, they've worked their fingers to the bones. And I'm saying to you as an entrepreneur, and for me that was what has driven me, that let me put so much energy so that hopefully one day my kids can carry and have equity around the Masiza surname.
Now, my second last question is, true to today's topic, which is access to funding. I can't help but sit there, I guess, as a facilitator, but assuming the position of an audience member. How did you, after all the downs, how did you manage to raise funds for different things? Because sometimes there's a narrative that says, I don't have money, so I can't start, the money's not enough, and the sort, so you never really start sometimes. How did you manage to do that just in as basic as way, so that when someone walks out of here, they don't think that, solutions are for the few, similar to what was said earlier on by Lebu?
Okay, let me, if there's one thing that you must, there's enough money. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. Imali iningi. Don't worry about imali. I'm serious, colleagues. Look, we run entrepreneurship summits. Buladane comes and become. When we talk to a lot of funders, people they don't know where to invest the money, because they're saying to me, Masiza, give us people with incredible ideas. That's all they're looking for. Therefore, we're not stressing a mali. Unga stressing ani? Nemali. Imali zoza. When stressing over to perfect the idea onayo. Money will come. I can tell you now. Don't stress about that. Imali, look, I can say this over and over, because imali iningi. There's too much money, but there's less ideas. Ungathatha idea kamngani wakho ngoba I normally say to people there are 4 eyes when it comes to entrepreneurship. There's what we call invention, where you start an idea and it becomes yours. There's innovation, where you perfect the idea. There's an investment where somebody scale it, and then there's idiocy, where somebody wants to replicate what we have started before. Which is the last phase. But all I'm saying to this, let me give Menaga. I was lucky because even when I started in business, I was an MD of a number of entities, not because of any qualification, but because of my relationships with some of the chairpersons of organizations. Because I was there, I was saying, here I am, this is my idea, this is how I can run entities. And this is what I'm saying, this is what I will ask. Once you have an idea, work on it. Maybe get a coach, talk to Bulelane, talk to people, but work on your idea and make sure that it is bankable. And then Uzobona, once you have that and then you're presenting to different funders, it's easy for them to fund you. But don't pursue imali before you start a business, then you are not going to start. I can tell you now. Mina ngaqala Empower Works ngemali ama talks, because I used to do a lot of motivational talks. But I get 10,000 lana after I talk, bagnegi 20, bagnegi 30 stina, after I talk, and then I'll take a bit of it, and then I will, put that, good business, because my credit record was not good, but, and I can safely say this, that I don't owe anybody. I run Empower Works, it's self-funded, and I consider myself lucky that I'm a sole owner of the business. And I've been getting a lot of people that wants to buy the business, and because I'm very intuitive, and I said, look, I'm not ready, including some of our properties or some of our IPs that we have. There's one of the biggest organizations that came, they wanted to buy the Empower Youth and say, look, can you give us the IP? Tell us how much you want, we can give you the financials. After I've consulted with a few guys, including, internal, because it has to feel right. And I said, no, let me build this asset. Maybe after 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years, in the fullness of time, we'll sell it. But I'm happy that the little, and again, it's also about fiscal discipline. And I'm not saying ungashayi ungadli imali yakho, but content abantu badla imali yabo, yet they can't afford to pay their staff. And I take serious offense. If you can go to EmpowerWorks, I've been with most of the team guys for almost 15 years. The only time where I couldn't pay them, it was when I paid them 80% of the salaries, because we were waiting for payment. But angeke mina ngishayine, ngihamba ngekusheshe, yet I can't even pay staff, salaries. And I'm saying you need to balance that. Sometimes you need to pay now and play later. But I hate lento with abantu mutashine and yet not taking care of the people that are creating value, which is your staff members. But I've never had funding, just a long and short of it, yeah.
My last question, I guess, would have been, what is your message? But I'll take that as the message and I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for you? I mean, you drove all the way here. Similarly to all the amazing speakers, the Nedbank guys, all the partners really drove from an hour plus.
Yeah.
But you're consistently coming to the township.
Yeah.
A township that has no electricity.
Yeah.
You're consistently... Come on, man. You're consistently supporting township-based businesses and very deliberate about it. The last interaction, you had said, this facility and this room that is here was built by this aluminium guy. Yeah. He couldn't do it properly, so I coached him. Yeah. This tiling here was done by 1, 2, 3. Yeah. The catering here is done by this specific gentleman. Yeah. And that spoke to me. Yeah. But, to have someone of your, I think in my view, influence, stature, consistently doing this and bringing his friends along to say, this is where we need to be. Number one, what is the significance of that and what drives you to continuously do that? Yeah. That's my last.
And thank you, Ntatebula. I believe in a dream of an African child. But for me, particularly, I also believe in young people by Orange Farm, because I grew up here. And I believe in the saying that says, don't burn the bridges. That as you rise, extend a hand to your brother. I grew up in Orange Farm. My brother still stays here, Olefa. But my intention, and I'm very intentional about Orange Farm. And we do a lot of programs. We do empower youth. Some of you know, we're coming big next year. And last year when we came here, 50% of the cost were funded by us because, we went to different, sources. They didn't believe in it. It's only now that people are, they're waking up, to the concept of supporting, entrepreneurs and young people in the township setup. But I believe Bulalana, no one will. And I'm very deliberate that I bring most of the CEOs, most of the executives, the entrepreneurs this side, purely so that they can have an experience. Because sometimes, abantu bahlele Sandton, and mom chelanga Orange Farm. Orange Farm. I remember I brought one of the ministers, and I wouldn't mention Lan, and she said to me, "I never thought this place exists. I'm serious. I'm serious. God is my weakness. I said, I never thought it exists. A minister, but I thought that I played my role to bring her here to have an experience. Hopefully, she'll bring programs and accelerate the future, base Orange Farm. I can relate nabantu abasha base Orange Farm ngoba bengumuntu omusha okhulele la Orange Farm. Yingako kuko konke engikwenzayo ngifuna ukuthi 80% of my resources ngiyifake la Orange Farm. And we're going to be doing a lot of things. From the company ngisebenzela bathi EmpowerWorks, but also my intention is to bring as many players as possible. Sikhona ukubashiya la Orange Farm abaqhubeke ngaloko engizobe ngikucalile or ekuzobe sikucalile as EmpowerWorks. Let me close by saying that ukuthi iBhayibheli ethi don't despise the days of small beginnings. Okay. Don't despise people that you meet. You don't know what was a connector. No ban. There's a philosophy or a saying that says, when a butterfly is called a butterfly effect. It says when a butterfly deep down in Amazon, when it flings its wings, it affects a weather pattern in India or a den of lions. Ngamanye amagama lokho kuncane okwenzayo ungakunyathi ngoba kune direct impact to your destiny. Okwesithathu ngifuna ukusho ukuthi as Shakespeare says ukuthi impilo is more like a stage. There's a cloud of people that are watching you. Khona abantu that have started EmpowerX as a receptionist and now are managers because they realized ukuthi the world is a stage and I'm here to perform and perform to the best of my ability. Ukuthi kuko konke okwenzayo as Martin Luther says. Martin Luther uthi when it happens for you to be a street sweeper, sweep the street like Shakespeare writing a poetry, like Beethoven composed the music, like Michelangelo painting pictures. He said, sweep it so well so the host of heaven can pose and said, there lived a great street sweeper. Ngamanye amagama abantu basekhaya, which I'm closing now, good. Kuko konke okwenzayo, do it with uttermost excellency. Give it your all because you truly don't know who's watching you. Your future is in your hand. Are we all together, guys? You know, I remember among Sebens, I worked for an organization. There's this guy, Magavolis Kaftin on Monday, beg a complaint. I knew it's peanut butter. You know, on Tuesday we'll open his lunchbox. He will shout at the top of his voice and say, "Kitsibiregi peanut butter." His friend, one of his friends, then they called him and said, "Dominic, why don't you tell your wife to stop preparing you this lunchbox?" And Dominic said two things. He said, "My brother, look at you. You know, one, I don't have a wife, but secondly, I do my own lunchbox." And this guy says, "Dominic, you complaining about your own peanut butter?" And all I'm saying to you is that if you can't make it with all the information, with the support of Ausleys and Nedbank and other support and other sponsors, and they're here, you know, there was a tsunami that happened, and then they were doing an RDP, not robbed, deceived, and persuaded, but the reconstruction and development program. But they don't realize that Bulelan, they don't have enough supply of monkeys. And then they went out some recreational activities and entertained kids. Ababula Zoo, this young man was there, as was moving from one leaf to another. And Banaba Manabar, "Oh, Mama, we love this monkey move." But because this guy of excitement, as was about to grab the leaf, Bulelan, he missed the leaf and then he fell on a den of lions. And remember, lions are not carnivores. I see the vegetarians, the lions. Sorry, I'm not happy for us. As the lion was moving, gracefully praying to God, to say, "Lord, for the food that I'm about to enjoy." But because this guy is not trained to cry like a monk, before this guy could say, "Bamayo!" the lion whispered, Mamelan, sonke sizozama lana. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We are all here to hustle. But hustle kahle, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You know, when I was, and I think this part I didn't leave to anyone else, I think this particular when I was thinking up speakers, right? So I did it of my own. But for me, it was to say it's the end of the year. It's a time of reflection and gratitude, number one. Number two, who do you bring on who would equally fit the task, but also has done impactful stuff in impacting others? So I think for me, you know, having known you for so long, having hustled him years ago, coming to his office, always gave me an ear. Always a time for me to receive your flowers while you're still alive and not dead. Maybe not stand around your coffin one day and say, "This man was great." But today, I think representing many others, I say you've impacted our lives. You've changed so many of our lives. You've opened up financial opportunities for so many of. As you go back home to reflect with your daughter, your family, your children, may you know that there are many others that you've touched, and you might not see us tweeting, you might not see us on Instagram. I'm a Grotman who ate but didn't wipe their mouths, but left some crumbs for us to be able to come and take. Of everyone, increase. May he bless more, may you do more. May the 5,000 you've touched be 100,000, 100 million, and we thank you. Please in the center. Yeah, we need a picture. Our photographer, yeah, he needs to get one as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'd like to call up Sleboho. Is Sleboho here? Sleboho? He's left. Puseleto, can we have you, please? Then we'll just wrap up. Thank you so much for coming out. Yeah, and I'll tell you, the symbol yet again was when we met Puseleto years ago. She was an amazing lady in corporate, heading up.
Was or is?
No, then. I'm talking about then. But one of the main things that she did, and I think for a bunch of us as young entrepreneurs coming up, she was like, listen, let's go disappoint. Make sure you deliver. And I think we delivered.
You delivered.
And many others, your Saneles and the sorts delivered, which is why today it was a composite of bringing someone who covered the topic, who's got the credibility, the reputation, but bringing someone who's also impacted thousands of entrepreneurs to be able to appreciate them. And we'd love to appreciate you and thank you so much. A picture of just you and your flowers, and then my job here is done. Thank you. And then that is it. I'm going to hand back to the MC. We get to the fun part of the program. We close off. He announces the winning pitcher. And we grab something to eat. We network. And that closes off Kasi Business Workshops 2022 with Nedbank. Together. Beke, Libeke.
One, two. Why is it why can we meet? Let me get two wheel, right? Cause get la. All right. We good? We good now? We're heading to that part now where we. All right. Sure. We must announce the winners. Oh, goodness. Tens. So this is the session. I think it's the 8th or 9th, ne? 8th or 9th. 9th. So in total, it's been 450,000 that we've given away since we started in March or April. We're giving away another 50. Another 50. All right, can I please have the envelopes? Envelope. Hey. Ska shapatsa Steve Harvey. All right, so this is for position number 6. Can we get a drum roll? The judges? Yeah. All right, position number 6 is Lerato. Lerato, Pashapele Lerato. The judges, please come to the front. Madimanikele hasla. Oh, arike akolata prize marke vaga staff saga. Can the judges please come to the front as well? Judges. This is amazing, man. Yeah. Sometimes Shapeling Matzo, please let's put our hands together for this young man. Here's your gift, man. Yeah. Can we just get a photo? One more time, round of applause. All right, position number 5. A drum roll. Stulo roll. Vuisile. Can we? Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Doing amazing work, running a really incredible business and livestock. Let's put our hands together for Vuisile. You happy? As I'm an entrepreneur, ngiyacala ukuthi uthengise livestock. Ngabe aze nayo la stage like. You never know. All right. We're down to position number 3. 4. 3. All right, and in position number 4 is Kolani. One more time, Taram Shapeling Matzo as comes on stage. Kolani. All right. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations. It's not. No, man. Hey, Kolani, remember, man. Man, Kolani, man. Fantastic, thank you. Ashalin Kolani Zanda. You're an entrepreneur, this one. All right, then go down to the last 3. Can we have the envelope, please? Dun. This has never happened before. But we have 2 number 2s.
Wow.
What's separating position 1 and position 2 and position 3 get 2 points. Our winner's got 87. Number 2's got 85. And number 3 has got 8. I see number 3. So number 2-2. All right, so in position 2-2. Tlabisa 2-2. Batle kaofela. Okay. No? No problem. No problem. Ba itseba bale ba itira ba tloko pele. Abongile, please come through. Sipo, please come through. And Moko, please come through. Come to the front, my man. Come to the front. Mr. Masiza, please come as well. Puseletso, please come through as well. Yeah. Cool. All right, can the contestants please come to the front? Ne? Yeah, please come to the front. All right, so 85 is, let's get a drum roll. 10, 9. Sipo and Moko. That is our position number 2. Thank you, let's. Here you come through. Here are your gifts. Yes. And there's your gift as well. Can you get a picture? Yeah, come through for the picture. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. Yeah. Sorry. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a round of applause. Can we get a drum roll? Orange Farm, let's get a drum roll. Let's get a drum roll. Drum roll. The winner, the pitching competition, the Orange Farm, Abongile. Yeah, but Abongile, kumele acting at now was. What are you shocked, DJ? Let's get a drum roll. Let's do it official. Let's say drum roll. Orange Farm, let's say drum roll. Orange Farm, let's say drum roll. The winner of the pitching competition is Abongile. All right, let's get you in the middle, my man. Let's get you in the middle. Can we look at the camera? This is a big star. Jojo, can you come in a bit closer? Mr. Masiza, can you come in a bit closer? Walking away with the 50,000 Rand grand prize. All right, come through, my man. Come through. Yeah. How are you feeling and what would you like to say to the entrepreneurs?
Okay, bengicela uqala ngalapho udume lapha which is uOrsito. Bengicala ngoOrsito uqala which is nobhuti wanginceda kakhulu elifini. Ina passing propay this year ngo March bengise UG bengise res and bese ngihlala khona phakathi UG eres. So ngikoloti res and ngine-stress ngomntana una 3 months. So istruggle bese real kakhulu. I end up nami ngizama ukuzibulala nje nama phone call ngicabanga umntana okay incosa manje ngisibhodisile kuzenzakalana what's next. Last story namhlanje ngicela ukuthola second born which is ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Can we? Just get a... Thank you. One more time, Orange Farm, tell them Chapeling Matoho. Simshayele Nizanja, Orange Family. Man, yeah. Lala One more time, Orange Farm, one more time, Orange Farm. All right, we've come to the end of our session for today. Congratulations to the winner, congratulations to everyone that pitched. It's not easy to stand up here, and it takes a lot of courage. A lot of courage. But Orange Farm, thank you so much for coming out, for showing us love. We really appreciate it. Once again, please use the hashtag join us for tea, hashtag together bekele beke. You're not just leaving. The team is going to assist you with the food arrangement before Hamba, have something to eat, continue to share the love. We'll do a line. Yeah, the team will assist you from the door. We'll do a line, and then, yeah, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Hashtag bekele beke. It's a wrap.